absolutely the best job on the national anthem. And she has done that every single time she has sung the national anthem. She just does a wonderful job.
She blows it away, David. I tell you what, I was here a couple times over Christmas break doing some of the announcing here, and she was just amazing every time she did it.
We're about to have the starting lineups for this ball game. The 32-6 Hilltoppers of Johnson City. Science Hill starting for them will be number 51, Andrew Landon Turner. He is a 6'2", 185-pound junior. Also starting for them will be number 24, a 5'10", 170-pound junior, Michael Forney. The third starter is a sophomore. That is Omar Wattad. He is 6'4", 195 pounds. Also starting for them, number 34, a 6'3", 200-pound senior, Matthew Stockton. And the fifth starter, number 52, a 6'3" senior, that's Ian McKinney. That is the starting lineups for the Hilltoppers of Science Hill High School out of Johnson City, Tennessee. Now our starting lineups for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. The crowd goes wild as they are announced. The first starter to be introduced for the Wildcats will be, let's see, a wing player, a 6'3" senior. That is Brett Goeringer. Brett Goeringer gets to start, and listen to the crowd here in the Oak Ridge High School gym. Our next starter for the Wildcats, a 6'2" junior, Grant Domsick. He'll start at the point position tonight. Also starting on the wing tonight, a 6'1" junior, Steve Younkin. Younkin gets the start for the Wildcats. And the fourth starter, a 6'3" senior, Aaron White. Aaron White gets the start for the Wildcats, coming off of a great performance the other night. And the fifth starter, a 6'4" senior, Rick Daniels-Mulholland. That's the starting lineups for Coach Ricky Norris's Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. He's assisted by Travis Walls and Jody Goins, and we're about to have basketball. The Wildcats wearing their home whites with cardinal and gray. The Hilltoppers wearing their, I guess that is a maroon, gold, and white. That is their colors. They are from Johnson City. They are a perennial state tournament contender, and they have an outstanding team, and we're going to have a great night of basketball.
David, is so loud in here. I had no idea what you were saying on the air. The only word that I could make out that you were saying was crowd, and then I inferred that you were talking about how loud it was. It is getting loud again. The Oak Ridge students are loud. Everybody's loud in here, and we're about to tip off this 2005 sub-state basketball game.
Aaron White's going to jump with Wattad. Ball is controlled by Oak Ridge, had it, but it's taken away by Science Hill. They've got the basketball, and we're underway here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. The winner advances to the state tournament. The loser ends their season. Hilltopper basketball, trying to get the ball inside. They hand it off to number 24. Driving the basketball, Michael Forney. Dribbles to the free throw line, throws up a shot, missed it. Rebound, Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Wildcat basketball just underway. No score. Grant Domsick at the point, brings it down the floor for the Wildcats. Grant dribbles off to his right, penetrates left, and gives it over to Younkin. Younkin works the ball top of the circle, dribbles to the free throw line, gives it back out to Goeringer. Brett Goeringer holds the ball, works it around to the right side once again, over it goes to Domsick. Domsick and the Wildcats. Oak Ridge works it into Rick, looks inside of White, can't get the ball to him. Now works the ball to Brett Goeringer, thought about driving in, will penetrate the free throw line, pull up and shoot, on its way, no good. Rebound, Science Hill. Coming up with the basketball, Wattad. Down the floor will come the Hilltoppers. They drive in. Here's an off-balance shot. It's up, no good. On the rebound, Science Hill. Then Brett Goeringer steals it away. Wildcat basketball. We have a scoreless ball game. 7 minutes to play, and down the floor the basketball will come Oak Ridge. In the corner it goes to Younkin, to Domsick. Domsick dribbles in, penetrates, goes in for the shot. Should be a charge. It's a block. Wildcats caught a break. They had set up inside the paint for a period of time, and they're going to give Grant a couple of free throws. The Wildcats might have caught a break here, Kevin McKeethan.
Well, yes, they did right there, David. Grant Domsick was going in under the basket as the referees are confused about who the foul is going to be on. They're actually questioning who, if the ball went in or not. The foul is going to be on Science Hill's number 34, Matthew Staton. His first personal foul, the first foul call of the game. As you said, they caught a break. Grant ran into the kid. He was already set up under the basket. He might have been too deep, though, as his first free throw attempt is up in the air.
77% free throw shooter. This one rims in and out. He'll have another one. We have no score. 6:51 to play. here in the first quarter. Scoreless ball game, Oak Ridge and Science Hill. Grant Domsick back to the free throw line, trying to score the first point of the ball game. Looks at his second attempt. It's on its way, and it is good. 1-0 Oak Ridge, and down the floor will come the Hilltoppers. Moving the ball across the line will come number 21, Landon Turner. Turner works the ball to the top of the circle. Here it goes to Matthew Stockton. Stockton looks back door, no place to go. Hands it off and then throws it back door. It must have been deflected by Oak Ridge. Back court. It'll be their basketball. Top of the circle with it will come number 32, Wattad. Wattad harassed out high by Brett Goeringer. Works the ball top of the circle. Comes off to the left on a bounce pass. He looks inside. Thought about lobbing it in. Backs it up. Here he goes to Ian McKinney. Now he drives the paint. Pulls up, shoots on its way up, and it is good. Science Hill has their first 2 points, and it's a 2-1 ball game. Oak Ridge ball. Aaron White works into Brett Goeringer. Wildcats down a point, 2-1. 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play in the first quarter. With the basketball will come Oak Ridge. With it will come Brett Goeringer outside the three-point stripe. He works the ball right, lobs it into Rick. He scores. Rick Daniels-Mulholland off the glass, and Oak Ridge leads it 3-2. And here come the Hilltoppers down the floor. With the basketball comes to Michael Forney. Forney backs it up with a pass out here to Landon Turner. Wildcats in a man-to-man as they drive in. Pull up, shoot, on its way, no good. Rebound, Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Wildcat basketball up by 1. Rick is then stripped of the ball, knocked out of bounds by Science Hill. 5 minutes, 41 seconds to play first quarter in a 3-2 ball game. The Wildcats will be facing a little pressure in the rear court. It'll be Aaron White to work the ball in. White will work it into Grant Domsick, and down the floor will come Oak Ridge. Up by a point in the sub-state ball game. The winner goes to the state tournament. The loser ends a great season here at the Oak Ridge Gym. Domsick, top of the circle, gives it over to Goeringer. Brett Goeringer works the ball to his right, gives it over to Domsick. Thought about lobbing it across court, throws it out to Steve Younkin. Steve looks inside of Rick, comes back out to Grant. Grant lobs into Rick, kicks the ball inside, he turns, he spins, he drives. That's going to be a charge against Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Oak Ridge fans not so sure about it, but I think he used his backside to just kind of clear out a bit and turns the ball over to the Hilltoppers.
David, Rick Daniels-Mulholland has come to play with an attitude here tonight. The way he pulled down his first rebound, the way he's playing on the offensive end. Although we got a player control foul right there, it shows how aggressive and how determined he is to win this basketball game tonight, as his Wildcats trail by 1, 3-2 early.
With the basketball, Matthew Stockton, top of the circle, looks back door, hands it out to the top to Wattad. Wattad drives in, a late footer, hits the rim, drops off no good, rebounded out of bounds. Last touch by, I believe, Quinche Dowdell. I kind of thought Quinche might want to try to grab that one as it went out of bounds, but he evidently touched it last. It'll be Hilltopper basketball. Wattad will work it in from the baseline, and it comes to the top of the circle. Here it goes to Matthew Stockton. Got it by Aaron White up high, has to back it up to the top of the circle. Then he hands it off to his right, driving in number 21 to kick it out for a shot from the baseline. It's up good. Nice shot out there by Omar Wattad. And down the floor with the basketball will come Oak Ridge. 5-3 our score. The Wildcats, as that was a two-pointer. They changed that now as they work the ball to Younkin. Younkin with the basketball, top of the circle, 4-3 Science Hill. Younkin works the ball to Domsick, lobs it inside to White along the baseline. Lost the ball, grabs it right back, gives it out to Grant. Three-pointer on its way, on target, good! Three-point shot, Oak Ridge. The Wildcats retake the lead by 2. 6-4 the score, 4:20 to play here in the first quarter. Science Hill with the basketball. Here's a near steal by Thomas. They drive in and kick the ball back to the right corner. Out to the top of the circle he goes. Once again, Science Hill with the basketball. Here it goes to Ian McKinney. Kenny with the top of the key. Here's a long-range three. It's up off the rim, no good. They get the rebound, have no place to go but inside. They work it inside for a shot. It's up, no good. Oak Ridge on the rebound. Domsick with it in the rear court. Wildcats get it down to Aaron White. Here come the Wildcats up by 2 with the ball. Aaron kicks it out to Steve. He's open for a three. It's on its way. No good. Rebound, Science Hill. Here come the Hilltoppers down the floor. Driving with it will come Turner. He lost the ball. Steal by Oak Ridge. Domsick with it to Goeringer. Brett Goeringer drives in. Brett Goeringer gives it into Quinche, and he scores. Quinche Dowdell. And the Wildcats lead by 4. 8-4 the score. With the basketball will come Science Hill. Hilltopper basketball. Out to the top it goes to Wattad. Wattad dribbles to the top of the circle and comes off to his left. Hands it off to number 21. He drives, he stops, he shoots, he missed it. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Quinche Dowdell with the basketball. Here comes the freshman down the floor to Younkin. Steve Younkin picks it up outside the three-point line. Looks to his right and gives it over to White. He guns a 15-footer. Good! The Wildcats drop it home and lead by 6. 10-4, and here comes Science Hill down the floor. With the basketball will come Landon Turner. Turner at the top of the circle. Works the ball back to the right side of McKinney. Harassed by Quinche Dowdell. He works the ball to the top of the circle once again. Dribbling with it will come Michael Forney. Forney kicks it out for 3. It's on its way. It's good. 3-point shot, Science Hill. Ian McKinney drops it home, and here comes Oak Ridge back the other way facing their pressure. Here it goes to Aaron White. Aaron's going to bring the ball across the line and wait for his teammates. Gives it over to Younkin. 10-7, the Wildcats in on top. Younkin with the basketball. Dribbles the ball to the top of the circle. 2:29 to play first quarter. Younkin works it over to Domsick. The winner goes to the state tournament. The loser ends their season. Oak Ridge ball. Younkin outside the 3-point stripe. Works the ball in. Penetrates the arc. Stripped to the ball. Taken away by Science Hill. They get a layup. Good. Ian McKinney scores, and the Wildcats lead is now cut to 1. 10-9 the score. Here comes Aaron White down the floor. White with the basketball. Goes inside to Quinche. He drives in for the layup. Good! And he's fouled. Quinche Dowdell drives in for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge back by 3. An opportunity for a 3-point play with 2:02 to play as the Wildcats prepare to get Jared Stevens, Rick Daniels-Mulholland, and Ravel Coffey into the ballgame. Younkin is out. Brett Goeringer is out. And Aaron White takes the seat. 12-9 Oak Ridge, a 3-point Wildcat lead.
David, I haven't heard this gym this loud since the 1996 sub-state. It is unreal how loud it is in this gym. People can say what they want to about the size and about the floor and about everything about this gym, the bleachers, but there's not a better atmosphere in the state of Tennessee for a sub-state basketball game.
Steve Shipley, the former head coach here, told me if he had one game he had to win, he'd played in this gym. As the free throw is missed by the freshman, rebounded by Science Hill. 12-9 to score. Minute 59 to play in the first quarter. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. They've got Emmanuel Reed in the ball game. He works it out to the top to Ian McKinney. McKinney works the ball left side of Wattad. Wattad dribbles in. Domsick's got him on defense. He drives to the baseline and is fouled. Foul called, I believe, against Grant Domsick, or not a foul, just the ball knocked out of bounds. I just heard the collision of the ball, and it was no foul. It'll be Science Hill basketball underneath the goal. To work the ball in will be Omar Wattad. Yet to do it in 5 seconds. He works the ball into Science Hill. He throws the ball away. Wildcats will get it. Ball came in. Oak Ridge's crowd is so loud. It's really, I think, causing Science Hill some difficulties as the Wildcats bring the ball down the floor. Here it goes to Grant Domsick. Wildcats by 3 with the basketball. Domsick's going to bring the ball across the line, give it over to Jared Stevens. Stevens works it over to Dowdell. Quinche lost the ball, grabs it, picks it up, holds it, needs help, gives it out here to the right to Ravel Coffey. Coffey kicks it out to Stevens. He shoots and he missed it. Rebound, Science Hill. Coming up with the basketball, Ian McKinney. Down the floor will come Emmanuel Reed. Works the ball top of the circle, and they're walking. There it is. Travel called against Ian McKinney of Science Hill, and the Wildcats will get the basketball. A minute 13 to play. First quarter, 12-9. The Wildcats in the lead. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Coming down the floor it goes to Grant Domsick. Domsick's going to bring the ball to the midcourt line. Wattad picks him up at that point. He gives it over to Ravel Coffey. Back to Domsick in the left corner. Grant Domsick dribbles the ball to his left. Needs help. Fires a pass out here to Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Daniels-Mulholland dribbling. Kicking it out to the right to Jared Stevens. Over to Ravel. Ravel drives in. He's got a layup. He missed it. Rebounded right back up by Ravel. He's fouled. Ravel Coffey will shoot free throws. Oak Ridge on top by 3. 12-9 the score. And the Wildcats will go to the free throw line with Ravel Coffey. Ravel, coming off of a 6 of 7 at the free throw line performance, has got his free throw percentage up to 43% as he goes to the free throw line twice. Here's the first one. Good. Ravel hits the free throw. Oak Ridge back up by 4, 13-9, and Grant Domsick's going to come out of the ball game. Coming into the ball game for him, for the Wildcats, will come Brett Goeringer. Ravel Coffey back to the line. 51 seconds to play first quarter. Coffey with one more toss. Puts it up there. No good. Rebound. Foul called against the Wildcats' Quinche Dowdell. For him, that'll be personal foul number 1. Team foul number 2 called against Oak Ridge. 50.6 seconds to play. With the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. Moving left to right. First time they've been to Oak Ridge in a long while in a regular season ball game. Oak Ridge hasn't beaten them in about almost 10 years, over 10 years. Hilltopper basketball. Here it goes out to the top to Emmanuel Reed. Got it by Ravel Coffey. Drives to the baseline, pulls up and shoots on its way. No good. But he does draw a foul from one of the Wildcats. 35.4 seconds to play. Personal foul called against the Hilltoppers. It's going to go against Ravel Coffey. That'll be his first. Team foul number 3. And it'll be Science Hill to the free throw line. The man fouled was 5'10" sophomore Emmanuel Reed. He'll have 2 shots. 13-9 to score. Here's Reed's toss. No good. Hits the front end of the rim. He'll have another one. Oak Ridge by 4, 35.4 seconds to play. Back to the free throw line once again. Will come the Hilltoppers. Second toss, good. Oak Ridge's latest 3. Down the floor comes Jared Stevens, guarded in the rear court by Devon Ryans. He's going to bring it across with 30 seconds to play. Wildcats have Quincy Dowdell, Jared Stevens in the ballgame. Ravel Coffey, Brett Goeringer, and Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Ravel works the ball back out to Jared. Jared with 19 seconds to play, penetrates to his right, comes back to his left. Calls the play with his left hand, works the ball over to Brett. Brett Goeringer with 12 seconds. Works the ball to his right, bounce pass into Rick, and a holding foul is going to be called against the Hilltoppers, and that's good for them because West Loudermilk got beat by Rick, and that was going to be an easy 2 points.
Very fortunate foul right there for the Hilltoppers. As you said, David, Rick Daniels-Mulholland had a fantastic position inside. Good spinning pass by Brett Goeringer to get it into him. Lucky for Science Hill, they found him before Rick could nail the layup.
Once again, it'll be Oak Ridge basketball, up by 3 here in the first quarter. Only 9 seconds to play. Brett Goeringer getting ready to work it in. The Wildcats trying to get it in. Working in the left side. The ball is knocked out immediately by the Hilltoppers. Matthew Stockton, as Grant Domsick's going to come back in the ball game. Checking out will come Ravel Coffey. Wildcat ball, 9.2 seconds to play first quarter. 13-10 Oak Ridge on top. Hilltoppers, as the Wildcats working into Younkin, a 3-pointer from the right corner is no good. Big Rick's got the rebound. He goes back up for the shot. Here it is, no good. Rebounded by the Science Hill as the first quarter comes to a close. Our score after 1 quarter of basketball here at the Oak Ridge High School gym in this sub-state ball game. Oak Ridge on top 13-10. We'll take a break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. David Clary along with Kevin McKeethan, Ben Thomas, our camera person, up top along with Austin Crow, Michael Frios. Oak Ridge on top by a score of 13-10. The second quarter just underway. Oak Ridge comes out with Aaron White, Grant Domsick, Brett Goeringer, Steve Younkin, and Rick Daniels-Mulholland, the original starting 5. Oak Ridge with it with Brett Goeringer, stopping, bounce pass inside, White for the layup, he missed it. Rick's got the rebound, he's fouled, no call. Saved by Oak Ridge, Rick gets a shot for that. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Wildcats had a couple easy ones. Those backdoor plays are working for the Wildcats.
Yes, they are, David Clary. What the Oak Ridge is doing, they're getting the ball at the top of the key. They're making a back V-cut off the wing, getting inside, getting easy looks at the basket for the Wildcats.
Domsick for 3 and a 6-point lead. Good. 3-point shot. Grant Domsick and the Wildcats lead 16-10. 7:32 to play here in the first quarter. Here comes Science Hill with the basketball. Emmanuel Reed drives the paint, pulls up, shoots it. Blocking foul is called, and a bucket is good, and they'll have a free throw. Wildcats look like they got in a pretty good position. They might have been moving at the last moment. Good offensive drive by the Hilltoppers, and a questionable call as the Hilltoppers will shoot a free throw to try to cut it back to 3.
David, very impressive so far. I know number 30 here for the Hilltoppers. That young man's name is Emmanuel Reed. Quincy Dowdell and Jared Stevens are all freshmen and sophomores. So a lot of young kids on the floor tonight in this big basketball game.
Free throw is good. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. The freshman Jared Stevens lobs it over to Rick. Goes it out to Brett. Brett works the ball top of the circle. Back it goes to Rick. Double team. Kicks the ball back out to Goeringer. Dribbles to the top of the circle. Oak Ridge ball. Here it goes to White. To Domsick. Domsick has Jared Stevens in the corner. A 3-pointer they needed. The freshman missed it. On the rebound will come Johnson City. Coming down with it with Todd. Wildcats by 3, 16-3. They can tie it on this shot, though. They miss it. Rick Daniels-Mulholland on the rebound. Here comes Oak Ridge back the other way. 6:55 to play first half. 16-13 to score. Oak Ridge has Aaron White. He turns. There's Rick at the free throw line. He shoots from there. Missed it. Wildcats missing a few shots and not getting a whole lot of rebounds. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers, trailing Oak Ridge by 3. 6:39 to play in the first half. Science Hill basketball. Emmanuel Reed against Jared Stevens. Dribbles in, bodies up, and works the ball back out to the top. Here goes to Forney. He kicks the ball on the baseline. Driving with him comes Stockton. Stockton kicks the ball inside. Had to walk. They're going for a shot. Good. Was that not a walk, Kevin? I think it was 2, as the Wildcat lead is now cut to 1. 16-15 to score. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. You need to get back on their offense here. Wildcats work it out to White. Aaron looks inside to Rick. He gives him the ball. He takes it up. And he was hammered, but no call. Here come the Hilltoppers. The Wildcats trail now. I think Oak Ridge wanted a little contact call down there, but the Chattanooga officials didn't call it. Science Hill by 1. 17-16. Down before the basketball will come Grant Domsick. Lost the ball. Here comes Science Hill. Another layup. He misses it, but they get the rebound right back up and score. Science Hill by 3, and Coach Norris wants a timeout. 5:43 to play. Now the Hilltopper crowd making a little noise.
9-0 run right now by Science Hill. David Oak Ridge was up by 6, 16-10. A couple of moments into the second quarter here, all of a sudden Science Hill's defensive pressure is picked up. They've been very aggressive on the ball, trapping the single ball handler in the backcourt for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. That's led to Oak Ridge turnovers, and that has led to points in transition for the Hilltoppers.
19-16, Science Hill on top, 5:43 to play. Crowd is deafening here in the Oak Ridge High School gym. The environment is just super for a high school basketball game as the Wildcats come back out with Aaron White, Grant Domsick, Jared Stevens, Quinche Dowdell, and Brett Goeringer. Wildcats trail by 3 after leading comfortably. Let's see what Oak Ridge can do. The Hilltoppers have had some athleticism. They don't have just an incredible amount of height inside. Wildcats have got to get the ball back inside. They've been doing a pretty good job getting inside. They haven't finished off a couple of their some of their shots as Domsick brings the ball down the floor. Works the ball to his left to Aaron White. Baseline jumper. Boy, they need it. It's no good. Quinche's got the rebound. Right back up with a shot. And this time I think they're going to call for a jump ball. And, man, these guys aren't calling anything.
No, they're not, David. Actually, early I was going to say that this was being a very well-refereed game, but all of a sudden, been a lot of contact inside and a lot of no calls by the referees. Could be very easily have led to Wildcat free throws.
Science Hill basketball, out the top it goes. They lead by 3, 19-16. With the basketball, Forney. Try to penetrate inside. Now behind the back dribble. Now penetrates in. Layup. Good. Science Hill by 5. The Wildcats need to regain their composure here. Get some points on the board. They're trailing 21-16. Down the floor will come Grant Domsick. Wildcats and Hilltoppers here. Brett Goeringer, a big 3. They need it. He nails it. 3-point shot, Brett Goeringer. And the Wildcats cut the lead back to 2. 21-19 the score. Here comes Science Hill down the floor. With the basketball it goes. On the right wing it goes to number 24, Michael Forney. He works the ball inside along the baseline. With his back to the goal. Pulls up and shoots. No good. Rebounded right back up. No good. Wildcats have it. Quinche Dowdell. Freshman holds the ball. Now dribbles the ball down the floor to Jared Stevens. Stevens is going to bring it across the line. Oak Ridge down by 2 with the ball. Here it goes to Brett Goeringer. Out to the top he goes. Loud to Quinche. Oh, great move along the baseline, but he steps out of bounds because he's fouled. Personal foul called against Wes Loudermilk. That's his second personal foul. 4:20 to play. It'll be team foul number 5 called against Science Hill. The Oak Ridge basketball needs to go. The winner goes to the state tournament. Loser ends their season. It'll be Oak Ridge to work the ball in. Grant Domsick. 21-19 our score. Grant trying to work it in. Up high it comes to Goeringer. Brett works the ball inside of Quinche. Dribbles in, penetrates, shoots, and scores. Wildcats tie the ball game, and he's got 6 points. 21-21 the score. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. Here it goes to Emmanuel Reed, top of the circle. Backs it over to Stockton. Works the ball in the ring once again to Forney. Forney guarded by the right side. Block shot by Quinche. Keeps it alive, and then they grab it right back. Forney comes cross court to Loudermilk. Loudermilk's shot is up, no good. Foul from the rear by Brett Goeringer. 21-21 the score. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to play in the first half, and junior Wes Loudermilk will go to the free throw line.
David, that personal foul is called on Oak Ridge's number 5, Brett Goeringer, his first personal foul of the game. Oak Ridge's 5th personal foul of the first half.
Toss good. Science Hill back on top by 1. 22-21 the score. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Back to the free throw line. There's a familiar face right behind us, Mr. Darius Waters. Back to the free throw line. Welcome Wes Loudermilk as the shot is up, and it is good. 23-21 the score. And the Wildcats trail again by 2. Boy, what a great game so far.
Very great game, David. Very great atmosphere. The one thing that you notice about Science Hill, they're very athletic and they play very, very well on defense. They play a nice backcourt man-to-man trap defense as they look to do it right here on Grant Domzik as Oak Ridge has the ball trailing by 2.
Here's Aaron. Here's Brett dribbling in. Back to Aaron it goes. He turns, he spins, he shoots. Didn't really shoot it. Quinche comes over the back and is called for a foul. Dowdell picks up his second personal foul. 23-21. Science Hill by 2. 3:44 to play in the second quarter. The Wildcats substituting Younkin for Goeringer. Dowdell is out. Rick Daniels-Mulholland is back in. 23-21 the score. Science Hill basketball.
David, Oak Ridge is getting some good looks inside at the basket, and if they want to really stay in this game and have a chance to win this game, they've got to start knocking down some of those looks inside 5 feet of the backboard.
Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. Out it goes. Top of the circle. Here it goes once again. Driving with the basketball comes Stockton. Bounce pass along the baseline to Wattad. His shot is up. No good. Rebound, Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Oak Ridge basketball. Down the floor with it will come Oak Ridge. Grant Domzik's going to bring it across the line. Dribble out to his left. Now penetrate to his left. Kick it out to Younkin. Steve Younkin not given an ability to shoot. Works the ball to Stevens. Inside of Rick. Moves back to the goal. Puts it up and scores. And he's fouled. Rick Daniels-Mulholland off the glass. Ties the ball game. 23-23 the score. 3:10 to play. And I saw some indecisiveness on the part of the official, too, and I know why the Hilltopper fans might not be too happy.
They aren't very happy, David, but it was very, very true that number 34, Matthew Stockton, is that his name? He was moving under the basket right there. Rick had all the momentum, and he also had the 6'4", 250-pound frame on his side. He knocked the kid over. He wasn't set, though. Rick knocks down the two-pointer, has the opportunity for the and one three-point play.
Second foul called against Matthew Stockton. Rick goes to the free throw line. How many does he have? 4 points, gunning for his 1,000th point tonight. Free throw is missed. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Jared Stevens comes out of there with it. Tie game, 23-23. Rick looks inside of White, can't get the ball to him. Backs it up to Stevens, dribbles in, kicks the ball to Younkin in the left corner. Steve Younkin looks left, finds Stevens, finds Rick. Rick's got a layup. Good! Wildcats back up by 2. 25-23 the score. Here come the Hilltoppers down the floor. With the basketball goes to Landon Turner. Works the ball in, dribbling in, penetrating, shooting, and scoring. Drove right down the middle of the lane and ties the ball game at 25. 2:41 to play in the second quarter. Oak Ridge basketball. Aaron White's going to bring the ball straight down the floor. He's going to take it to the hole and put it up and miss it. It's a great drive, though. Down the floor will come the Hilltoppers. With the basketball, number 21. He holds it. He lobs it. They drive in. Charge is called against Science Hill. They are so slow making their calls, I have to hesitate.
It's quite obvious right there, David, that was going to be a charge call. If it wasn't, that's a hideous call by the official, but instead he makes the right call. I think he's just being sure of himself, making the right call, calling it on the right young man. That time, the foul is going to be on number 10, Davian Ryans, his first personal foul, Science Hill's 7th of the half. Oak Ridge will now be shooting 1 plus the bonus free throws for the final 2:33 of the first half.
25-25 the score. Standing room only crowd here at the Oak Ridge gym. Aaron White's going to try to work the ball in. Lobs it up high to Jared Stevens. He attacks to the top. Jared Stevens goes in. He turns, he spins, he drives. He missed the shot, but there's Rick for the shot. No good. And then a foul's called against Jared Stevens. That'll be the 7th team foul called against Oak Ridge. Wildcats have had some good looks inside. You're right. If they can finish off some of these shots, as we got a 25-25 ball game, 2:11 to play. To the free throw line will go Science Hill.
David, two big difference makers right now for the Wildcats are the two freshmen, Jared Stevens and Quinche Dowdell, both coming off the bench for the Wildcats. Both of them have provided a spark in the Wildcats as they trailed by 5 points just a couple of moments ago. Now the game is tied at 25.
Science Hill, one in the bonus. 25-25 the score. The shooter is Ian McKinney. He shoots a line drive, flat shot, rebounded by Aaron White of the Wildcats. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. The freshman is Jared Stevens. He brings the ball across the line. Works around a screen, works the ball to his left, kicks it over to Domzik. Inside of Rick, he turns, he's fouled. Fouled by Science Hill. They don't have a matchup at all for Rick inside. They do bring a couple bodies over toward him every time he gets the ball, but they don't have anybody that matches up with him physically.
No, they don't, David. They have a couple of guys who are close to as tall as Ricky is, but nobody really even as close to as thick as Rick's right leg. They're all very, very tall and very, very thin and athletic, but they can't match up physically inside. Hopefully the Wildcats and Rick Daniels-Mulholland will be able to exploit that all night.
Free throw is no good. Rick missed the toss. He's got 6 points in the ball game. He's 0 of 2 from the line. A 72% free throw shooter. Coming in, he needed 10 points for 1,000 in his career. He's got 6 tonight. Trying to give Oak Ridge the lead with this free throw. Daniels-Mulholland, the MVP of the tournament last week, hits this one. Oak Ridge by 1, 26-25, and Rick's going to take a seat alongside the coaching staff of the Wildcats. Brett Goeringer's in, Steve Younkin, Ravel Coffey, Aaron White, and Jared Stevens. Oak Ridge by 1, 26-25 the score. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. Number 30, Emmanuel Reed. Thought about shooting a 3, penetrates left, kicks it out to Wattad. Wattad pulls up, guns the 3, it's up, good. It's a pretty shot. Omar Wattad gives them a 2-point lead, 28-26. A minute 39 to play here in the first half. The Wildcats trailing by 2 here at the Oak Ridge High School gym in this sub-state ball game. Steve Younkin with the basketball. They need some offense out of him. Here it goes to Goeringer. Brett Goeringer dribbles the ball to his left, gives it over to Stevens. Stevens comes back to his right with a pass to Steve Younkin. Younkin looks to his right. There's Ravel Coffey. Thought about lobbing it in. There's Brett, top of the key. Thought about shooting. Now penetrates. The ball is taken by Stevens. Jared Stevens drives in, kicks it out to Ravel. He's got a little 15-footer. It's good. Ravel Coffey drops it home, and we're tied at 28. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers once again. With it will come Emmanuel Reed. Reed's going to bring the ball across the midcourt line. Under a minute to play in the first half. Hilltopper basketball. Here it goes to Devon Ryans. He drives in, throws the ball away. Ravel Coffey steals it to Younkin. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Tied 28-28. Left side. Brett Goeringer, three-pointer. It is good! Brett Goeringer gives Oak Ridge a 3-point lead. Brett Goeringer now with 8 points in the ball game. He's approaching 500 for his career tonight. 31-28, Oak Ridge by 3. 28 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Hilltopper basketball. Devon Ryans works the ball to the midcourt circle. 19 seconds to play. They work it out once again to Wattad. Wattad holds it in the midcourt circle with 12 seconds to play. Oak Ridge by 3. 31-28. Here comes Wattad. Everyone else down low. Wattad shakes and bakes, turning, spinning, driving, shooting, and missing as the first half comes to a close. The Oak Ridge High School Wildcats head to their locker room on top of the Hilltoppers of Johnson City, Science Hill, by a score of 31-28. Outstanding first half of basketball by both teams.
What can you say, David? Great half of basketball by both teams, as you just said. Oak Ridge played very, very well. They came out, and what I was most impressed with out of the Wildcats, they were calm. They knew what they had to do on offense. They got the ball inside to Rick Daniels-Mulholland. They got the ball kicked out to their shooters on the outside, Brett Goeringer, Grant Domzik, Jared Stevens, Steve Younkin, and they got some good looks. Although Oak Ridge wasn't able to finish at the rim a couple of times when they needed to, they knew exactly what they wanted to do on offense. They played hard on defense. If Oak Ridge can continue to play like that, I think we're going to have a very exciting game to close out this 2005 home season for the Wildcats and the Toppers.
We're on AM 1290 WATO. We're going to take a break, send it back to our engineer, Darren Creek. We come back, we'll run down the first half statistics, talk about the other games, the state tournament potentially for one of these two teams. Whoever wins is going to the state tournament. We're going to check in with Darren Creek. He might have an update on that Clinton, Tennessee High of Bristol ball game. They should be about at halftime too. Oak Ridge at the half leads it 31-28. We'll take a break, send it back to Darren. We'll be back to run down the stats in 3 minutes. I'm so nervous, I think.
I'll take it. Oh, I wouldn't be able to talk either. I'd screaming every time it's so loud.
What's that? He's getting ready to tell me. about that? You're doing the game?
No, it's somebody about the class. It might be canceled. It might be canceled. I take it back. Kevin McKeethan back here at the Oak Ridge High School Gymnasium along with David Clary. We're also joined by cameraman Michael Freels, James Branson also here. Ben Thomas is also doing some camera work for us. Also joined by Darren Creek, our engineer back at the studios of the mighty AM 1290 WATO. Your score at the half of this 2005 sub-state game. Oak Ridge leads Science Hill by a score of 31-28. A great half of basketball played by both teams. Both teams played hard. Both teams played cleanly. Both teams also played very, very effectively on both ends of the floor, which has led to a very exciting conclusion to one of these teams' seasons and a very exciting conclusion to our game and broadcast here this evening. I'm going to run on the scoring in the first half so far. First for the Oak Ridge Wildcats, who lead by 3 at the halfway point. Quinche Dowdell provided a spark for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats off of the bench. The 6'3" freshman lefty scored 6 points in the first half. He was a perfect 3 of 3 from the floor. Hopefully he can continue to play very well when he gets his opportunities for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Brett Goeringer provided 6 big points for the Wildcats. He nailed 2 3-pointers, one of them when Oak Ridge was down by 5 points, 21-15. He cut it down, they were down 21-16. He nailed a big 3-pointer to cut it to 21-19. Brett has 6 points on the night, the senior wing for Oak Ridge. Grant Domzik, the junior point guard for the Wildcats, has 7 points. He is 2 of 2 from the field, 2 of 2 from beyond the 3-point line, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Grant Domzik, a fine player for the Wildcats. He has 7 points. Jared Stevens has not scored, but also provided a great spark defensively and ball handling wise for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Also playing for the Wildcats, Ravel Coffey. Ravel knocked down 1 of 2 free throws to improve his 43% free throw average. He's also 1 of 2 from the floor. Ravel has 3 points for Oak Ridge. Aaron White has 2 points, the senior post player. Only has 2 for the Wildcats. Hopefully he can get his shot on track inside. He's playing very good defense against a fine player for the Toppers, Omar Wattad. Aaron has his hands full. Aaron only has 2 points. Hopefully he can get on track to have the kind of second half that he had last Friday against Clinton. Rick Daniels-Mulholland has 7 points for the Wildcats. The big post player inside for the Wildcats has 7 points. He's 1 of 3 from the free throw line. He is 3 of 7 from the field. Rick Daniels-Mulholland, there's no answer for Rick Daniels-Mulholland on the Hilltoppers bench. If there is, we haven't seen him in the game. Oak Ridge needs to keep getting the ball in Rick Daniels-Mulholland's hands if they want to win this game. Hopefully Rick can continue to dominate inside with his size, skill, speed, and athletic ability. Science Hill has 28 points in the first half. Their leading scorer is Ian McKinney. He has 11 points. He was 4 of 5 from the floor. Also scoring for them, as I mentioned, Omar Wattad. Wattad has 7 points in the first half. Emmanuel Reed, a sophomore point guard, came off the bench, was 2 of 3 from the free throw line, 2 of 3 from the field. He has 6 points. Michael Forney has 2 points, as well does Wes Latterback. He has 2 points as well for the Hilltoppers. As a team, the Hilltoppers were 11 of 23 from the floor in the first half, 2 of 4 from behind the 3-point stripe, and 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Oak Ridge as a team from the first half was 12 of 27 from the field, 4 of 7 from behind the 3-point stripe, and only 3 of 8 from the free throw line. If Oak Ridge wants to be able to close out this game, they're going to have to make some free throws in the second half. As I said, the score at the half is Oak Ridge 31, Science Hill 28. The winner of this basketball game advances to the 2005 TSSAA AAA state tournament held at the Murphy Center in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. The loser ends their season here tonight at the Oak Ridge High School Gymnasium. We're going to take a break, send it back to Darren Creek, back in the studios of AM 1290 WATO for a 2-minute timeout. When we return, the start of the second half and the end of one of these two teams' seasons. 2-minute break.
David Clary, Kevin McKeethan back here, Darren Creek, Ben Thomas, Austin Crow, Michael Friels, James Branson, our camera personnel, Jason Lewis as well. I wonder if he's doing camera work up there. I guess, yeah, there's Bennett up there too, so we got a whole kinds of people working for us. As the Wildcats have the lead here, 31-28 the score. Wildcats will get the ball first as we start play here in the second half. Oak Ridge comes out with Grant Domsick, Aaron White, Brett Goeringer, Rick Daniels-Mulholland, Younkin, three-pointer. Good! Three-point shot, great start for the Wildcats here in the second half. Oak Ridge on top by 6. 34-28 the score. Here comes Science Hill with the basketball. Landon Turner with the basketball, kicks it out to the top. They've got a three on its way. It is no good. Rebound out of bounds to Oak Ridge. They're going to say, I believe, that Matthew Stockton touched it last. Good start for Oak Ridge, and Steve Younkin nailing that three.
Great way to start the second half, David. It's quite obvious by the alignment of the Toppers that they're going to be very aggressive on defense as they put pressure on Oak Ridge in the backcourt right now. Oak Ridge has got to break the press using the pass, not the dribble.
Rick Daniels-Mulholland dribbles the ball across the line, works the ball back out to Domsick. Wildcat basketball up by 6, 34-28. Here's Younkin again. They set a screen for him. Works the ball to White. White looks inside of Rick. Dribbles in. There's Steve again. He won't take the shot. He gets it to his left. Aaron for three. It's huge. It's good. Three-point shot, Aaron White. His second in 2 ball games. And the Wildcat lead is 9. 37-28 the score. Here comes Science Hill. Wattad with the basketball. Dribbles to his right. Throws up a shot. No good, but he's fouled. Personal foul. Aaron White feeling that three-point shot. That's his second of the year. His last one came, I believe, against Clinton, and this one tonight against Science Hill.
David, maybe I'm good luck for Aaron or something, because the last 2 games that I've been to, the only 2 games I've been to in quite some time, he's hit his three-pointers. So hopefully he can continue to play with confidence, have confidence in his shot, confidence in his teammates to knock down some big shots for the Wildcats.
8-point Wildcat lead as Wattad hits the toss. 37-29 the score, 6:59 to play here in the third quarter. Wildcats and Hilltoppers. The winner goes to the state tournament. Back to the free throw line, Omar Wattad. Toss, good. 7-point Wildcat lead, facing full court pressure. In it comes to Grant Domsick. Domsick's going to bring the ball to the midcourt line. Not a lot of pressure. He brings it across with Forney in his face. He works the ball to his right to Brett Goeringer. Brett Goeringer dribbles out to his left and stops. Needs help. Stripped of the ball, a steal. Wattad takes it out of Brett's hand. He's going to take it coast to coast. Pull up and shoot off the glass. Good. And he's fouled. That time, great play by Omar Wattad. And they can cut the lead. After the Wildcats got it up to 9, they can score 6 straight points here as Jared Stevens comes into the ballgame.
6 straight points off of the hands alone of Omar Wattad. Wattad has 11 points in the game so far, David. That personal foul also is the 3rd on Brett Goeringer.
He'll come out of the ballgame, and Jared Stevens is back in for him. 37-32, a 5-point Wildcat lead. To the free throw line one time, Omar Wattad. Free throw good. Oak Ridge with the basketball. Jared Stevens in the rear court. Going to bring the ball down the floor. 37-33, 4-point advantage for the Wildcats. Here comes Rick on the right block. Turns, spins, drives. The baby hook is good. Rick Daniels-Mulholland drops it home, and the Wildcats lead by 6. 39-33 the score. Here come the Hilltoppers. With the basketball, Ian McKinney. Inside the three-point arc, backs it up once again to Wattad. Wattad got a screen, pulls up and shoots a three. It's no good. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Aaron White has it. Will dribble the ball down the floor. All the way down the floor and give it over to Domsick. Grant Domsick cross court to Steve. He steps, he plants, he shoots, he knocks down a three-point shot. And the Wildcat lead is back to 9. 42-33 the score. And here comes Science Hill with the basketball. Here it goes to Landon Turner. Top of the circle, dribbling in, and whistle blows, and a foul out high. No, it's a timeout called by the Hilltoppers. Steve Younkin got planted, and if you can plant those feet of his, he's going to nail it just about every time.
David, it's so good to see the confidence coming back into Steve Younkin's game. He had a tough region tournament. He struggled to get those feet planted, to get open looks, and when he got open looks, he struggled to hit them. Well, he's got 2 open looks in the last couple of minutes for the Wildcats. He's knocked down his first 6 points of the game, a big 6 points for the Wildcats as they lead 42-33 with 5:50 remaining here in the third quarter of this 2005 Sub-State basketball game.
We're on AM 1290 WATO, Oak Ridge Schools Television Channel 15, and on the internet, prepradio.com. Oak Ridge on top of Science Hill, 42-33 to 33. 5:50 to play in the third quarter. And I tell you, this home court advantage is really helping the Wildcats. The students, that is the largest student section we have had all season, maybe since that 96 ball game.
David, they are a strong all the way back to the wall. They're also starting to come over into not only the half of the bleachers here at Oak Ridge High School, they're starting to wander over into the perennially parent section too.
Hilltoppers for three, no good. Rick Daniels-Mulholland on the rebound. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Aaron White with it. Aaron's going to bring the ball across the line, dribble it out to his left, give it over to Younkin. Oak Ridge by 9 with the ball. Steve Younkin dribbles to the top, looks cross court. Over it goes to Domsick. Grant drives in, 5-footer, good! Wildcats lead by 11. 44-33 the score. Here comes Johnson City Science Hill down the floor. They work the ball along the baseline. Here it goes to Stockton. He pulls up and shoots. He missed it. Rebound to Oak Ridge. Wildcat basketball up by 11. 5:06 to play in the third quarter. Here comes Younkin. Younkin looks inside to Rick. He's got positioning but couldn't get the shot, the pass inside. Stevens with it to Domsick. Grant Domsick looks inside. Back to Stevens it goes. Oak Ridge by 11, 44-33. Jared Stevens has the ball. He tried to get the ball down to Rick. Nice penetration by Stevens. The ball just kicked out by Science Hill.
David, a word that I've said a lot tonight is confidence. Oak Ridge is playing with a lot of confidence right now. You just saw the freshman, Jared Stevens, penetrate the lane into 3 or 4 Science Hill Hilltoppers, and if not for a very athletic play with a kick ball, that ball is dished off to Rick for an easy 2 points. Oak Ridge playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Oak Ridge ball, Younkin in the corner. Younkin thought about shooting a 3, can't do it. Works to his right, works it into Rick. The baby hook's on its way, good! Rick Daniels-Mulholland, and the Wildcats lead by 13. 46-33 the score. Down the floor of the basketball will come Johnson City Science Hill. With the basketball, Emmanuel Reed. He works the ball to the top of the key. The Oak Ridge students yelling defense. As the Hilltoppers drive in, they pull up, they get it inside for a shot. It's up, good! They score inside. The Wildcat lead cut to 11. 4:20 to play here in the third quarter. Here come the Wildcats down the floor. Grant Domsick's going to bring the ball all the way down the floor. He's going to get a layup. Here it is. He scores! The Wildcats back up by 13. 48-35. Here comes Johnson City Science Hill. They shoot a 3. They miss it. Who's got the rebound? Grant Domsick. Here comes Oak Ridge. Up by 13. 3:58 to play in the third quarter. Here's the pass. Here's Big Rick. Here's Rick shooting and missing it. On the rebound, Jared Stevens. Foul called. Science Hill.
David, it is so loud in this gymnasium right now. The Science Hill coaches at halftime drew up signs with their plays written on it, and they're showing their players the signs as they come down the floor to show them what offense they want to run.
Call it, call it, call it.
The three-pointer's up, and it's no good by Steve Younkin.
Down the floor with the basketball comes Johnson City. With the basketball will come Reed. He guns up a shot. It is an air ball. Saved by Younkin. Wildcat crowd is really getting to the head of the Hilltoppers. Oak Ridge on top, 48-35. 3 minutes, 31 seconds to play in the third quarter. Jared Stevens with the basketball. Outside the line, it goes to White. Aaron White looks into Rick. He throws the ball into him. He's got it. Then knocked out of bounds by Johnson City. It'll be Oak Ridge basketball. Quinche Dowdell to come in for Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Rick has been a workhorse inside.
David, the Wildcats are being very, very intelligent, getting the ball inside of Rick as he comes out of the game for a rest. Rick Daniels-Mulholland, as you said, is the workhorse. He's dominating the inside game for Oak Ridge right now.
48-35, a 13-point Wildcat lead. The winner goes to the state tournament. Wildcats on top, 48-35. Steve Younkin with the basketball. Looks to his left. Comes back to his right. Now to the top of the key he goes. Swings it back to his left. Driving with the basketball. Aaron White for the shot. It's up, no good. Tipped by Quinche. He's got it. He's got one dribble. He's got one shot. And he scores! Oak Ridge by 15 points. 50-35. Here comes Science Hill. They get a 3 off. Clang, no good. Rebound to the Hilltoppers. Wattad driving, walking with the basketball. Turn it over. You want Mr. Wattad. The Oak Ridge crowd making such a huge difference in this ball game.
Absolutely, David. I knew that the Hilltoppers stayed in a very long time at halftime. The reason they sit in there, as I said, they have signs that have their plays written on it. It is so loud in this gym. You talk about a home court advantage. The Wildcats have that home court advantage right now. They are riding the wave as they lead by 15.
Wildcats work it into Jared Stevens. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor, up by 15. 50-35 to score. Jared Stevens shakes and bakes, pulls up and shoots. no good. Tipped up, no good. Taken away by the Hilltoppers. With the basketball will come Johnson City's. Ryan with the basketball. Works the ball left side to Forney. Forney for three. Clang, no good. They're just throwing up wild shots. Oak Ridge with the basketball, slowing it down with 2:19 to play in the third quarter.
This is not Science Hill basketball, David. They're not playing very disciplined right there. They're leaving men open on defense. They're jacking up three-pointers. Oak Ridge with the ball, leading by 15.
White thought about a three, smiles about it, but didn't launch it. Oak Ridge ball, Grant Domsick in the midcourt circle. 2:02 to play. Grant's going to shoot a three. Good! 18-point lead, Oak Ridge. And Science Hill finally calls a timeout. Listen to the Oak Ridge crowd. Oak Ridge up 18 points on the Hilltoppers of Science Hill High School. 53-35. What an unbelievable environment for a high school basketball game.
Absolutely, David. Clary, it's so loud in this gym right now. The cheerleaders are loud. The student section is loud. The parents sitting behind us are loud. And once again, I'm going to say it one more time, Oak Ridge has as much confidence as any Oak Ridge team I have seen in a very long time. Grant Domsick had an open three-pointer right there. He had about 3 or 4 feet of room off of his defender. He was confident. He stroked the three-pointer. Oak Ridge now leads 53-35 in this sub-state game. But one thing Oak Ridge can't do, they can't relax. They've got to stay on Science Hill. They've got to keep playing good defense. They've got to keep forcing Science Hill to take bad shots. Science Hill's offense is so out of sync right now. They're not getting the ball inside to Wattad and McKinney. McKinney and Wattad and other players are jacking up three-pointers. They're not playing the way they want to play, and Oak Ridge is, and that's why Oak Ridge is leading by 18 right now.
53-35 to score. Oak Ridge with 1:55 to play in the third quarter, an 18-point lead. Coach Norris is coaching like you would, like a madman on the sidelines here. Science Hill will work the ball in. The Wildcats have not been to the state tournament since 2000 when Halston Lane was playing. Here's a steal by Ravel Coffey. He steals it. Quinche has it. Quinche shoots it. Quinche scores! Oak Ridge by 20. Here comes Science Hill. Their pressure, Oak Ridge's pressure, getting to them tremendously. Out to the top it goes to Rhymes. Rhymes works it out. 20-point Wildcat lead. 1:36 to play in the third quarter. They get a shot off. It's no good. Rebounded by Grant Domsick, then ripped out of his hands. Science Hill basketball. Out to the top it goes to Omar Wattad. A 20-point Oak Ridge lead. 55-35. Wattad drives, shoots, scores. Count the basket and a pile. 1:19 to play. Third quarter. Back to an 18-point Wildcat lead.
David, Science Hill got out to a lead here at one point here in the third quarter. They were ahead 35-34, I do believe. Oak Ridge extended their lead to 34-28. They came back and tied it up at 35, made it 36-35. They have now only scored 1 point in the last 5 minutes of play.
18-point lead after the missed shot. Here comes Grant Domsick down the floor. There's an offensive foul called against Grant. It's a good call. It's a good call. Used his shoulder to pull out. It's a good call by the official. 55-37, an 18-point lead. 1:11 to play in the third quarter.
I agree with that call right there, David. Just like you said, Grant used his forearm to push off right there. That's really something that a lot of coaches teach these days, to protect themselves with the ball right there. Grant used it as an offensive weapon to drive into the man, and instead he garnered the offensive foul.
Wildcats can ill afford to let down at all defensively as they get the ball inside. They drive, they stop, they shoot, they score. 4 quick points, back to a 16-point game. The Wildcats on top, 55-39, 53 seconds to play. Grant Domsick brings the ball down the floor. Oak Ridge in the lead. Domsick dribbles to his right, needs help. Throws the ball inside. Travel caught against Domsick. At that stage, Wildcats should have called a timeout to save it, but it'll be Science Hill basketball making a little run on the Wildcats right now.
Yes, they are, David. The momentum is all on Science Hill's side right now. They've scored 4 straight points, and they look a lot more comfortable playing their defensive pressure right now as Oak Ridge is on defense leading by 16.
Hilltopper basketball out to the top. It goes to Omar Wattad. 33 seconds to play. Oak Ridge on top, 55-39. Then a whistle blows and a illegal screen. No, it's going to be a foul call against Oak Ridge. Personal foul call against Quinche Dowdell. That'll be his third personal foul. Brett Goeringer will come back in. 30 seconds to play. Oak Ridge on top, 55-39, trying to make the state tournament for the first time in 5 years. Once again, it'll be Science Hill basketball. 30 seconds to play. Hilltoppers lob it in. In it comes across the line to number 21. That'll be Landon Turner. Turner dribbles around a screen to the right. Locked, top of the key. Unable to shoot. Backs it up, throws it away. Lavelle Coffey steals it. Then it's ripped out of his hands. Taken right by Science Hill. They kick it out. And almost a walk. They kick it out to Wattad. Wattad dribbles in along the baseline. We're down to 9 seconds, 8 seconds. Here's a steal by Jared Stevens. Oak Ridge basketball. Wildcats have it. And then a foul in the rear court called against Johnson City. Oak Ridge had a snowbird down the floor. If Jared had seen him, that was an easy 2.
Yeah, it was, David. Great job right over there by the Wildcat defense. As time was starting to expire here for the third quarter, Wattad had a great look at a three-pointer. Great closing defense by the Wildcats as they have an opportunity to score here with 3.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Wildcat ball, and it comes to Aaron White with 3. Jared Stevens, mid-quarter is no good as the third quarter comes to a close. 8 more minutes of basketball. One of these two teams is headed to Middle Tennessee State University. Oak Ridge on top by 16 points as we go to the final quarter. 55-39 our score. We'll be back for the fourth quarter in 60 seconds. Thanks a lot. We are back here. Science Hill cuts the gap to 14 points out of the third quarter. Down for the basketball, Oak Ridge. Wildcats on top 55-41. Aaron White with the basketball, banks it up to Grant Dobson. The Wildcats do not want to just run time off the clock. They want to continue to attack and use this crowd, keep them into the ball game. Brett Goeringer with the basketball, hands it off to Domsick. 7:29 to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge ball. Here's Domsick to Goeringer. Goeringer drives in, and there's going to be a foul called, another offensive foul. Brett picks up his 4th foul, and Big Rick's going to have to come back in the ballgame. Science Hill creeping back in the ballgame.
Yes, they are, David. That's the 4th personal foul on Brett Goeringer, and really now Rick Daniels-Mulholland comes in the game. Oak Ridge has not looked as sharp all the way around ever since Rick left the game early in the third quarter, and they were able to form a run. Now Rick's back in the game. Hopefully Oak Ridge can get back in sync on offense.
Here come the Hilltoppers down the floor. Here's a three-point shot. No good. In and out. Tipped and taken away by them. They put up and they miss it again. Lavelle Coffey's got the rebound. Oak Ridge ball on top 55-41. 7:06 to play in the basketball game. Oak Ridge is 6-0 in sub-state ball games here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. Wildcats have never beaten the Hilltoppers in a sub-state ball game. Wildcats on top by 14. Aaron White with it along the baseline. One-on-one. Pulls up, shoots, not a good shot. Rebound out of bounds. Last touch by Oak Ridge. Aaron's been so good with his shooting this tournament. That was probably not the shot he needed to take right there.
It wasn't a great shot right there, David, but the reason that it wasn't a good shot is because Aaron was falling away from the basket right there. It's not Aaron's game to jump up and elevate and shoot a fadeaway jump shot. His game is to make a move and drive to the bucket and finish at the rim. That's what he needs to do to get back on the board.
Here's Omar, right elbow shot is up, no good. Foul by Jared Stevens. 6:35 to play, 55-41. Back to a 14-point game. And Omar Wattad will go to the free throw line. The winner goes to the state tournament. The loser ends their season. Johnson City comes into this game 32-6 on the year. Wattad to the free throw line.
David, one thing now that is also in the Hilltoppers' advantage is the foul count. Oak Ridge now has 7 team fouls here in the second half. Science Hill will be shooting 1 plus the bonus on at least every foul called on Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge will not be shooting free throws until Science Hill fouls 6 more times, as they only have 1 foul here in the second half.
Back to the free throw line, 13-point lead. Good, it was 20. Oak Ridge ball, trying to get the ball in, and it comes to Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Oak Ridge basketball. Rick's going to bring the ball back with a pass to Domsic. 6.5 minutes to play in the ball game. Oak Ridge by 12. Domsic in the midcourt circle gives it over to Jared Stevens. Wildcats up 55-43. They feed the post. Rick scores. He's over 1,000 in his career as an Oak Ridge High School Wildcat.
Absolutely no answer inside for Rick Daniels-Mulholland. He is more physical, more athletic, and more skilled inside than any of the Hilltoppers.
Oak Ridge back up by 14. The Wildcats have gone zone for the first time all year. A 2-3 zone being applied by the Wildcats. With the basketball, Science Hill. They work the ball inside. They turn, they spin, they shoot. They miss it, but foul's going to be called against Rick Daniels-Mulholland. Wildcats go into a zone, something they typically just play man-to-man. They very seldom go to a zone.
You know, I heard Coach Norris call that a minute ago. He told Coach Walls on the bench, he said, "Coach, we're going zone," and he said it with an authoritative tone. So he's very, very excited about this 2-3 zone that Oak Ridge has now applied to the offensive attack of Science Hill.
57-44, Oak Ridge on top. The first free throw by Matthew Stockton. Good. Darren Creek will have a highlight show at the conclusion of our broadcast. 57-44, 57-55. The Wildcats up by 12. 5:54 to play in the basketball game. Down the floor, Jared Stevens to Grant Domsic. Domsic to Rick. Rick drives in. Rick's got a layup. He scores. Wildcats get 2 easy, quick points. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. They lob it along the baseline to Stockton. Stockton kicks it out. Here's Forney shot. Hits up good. They score inside with Michael Forney. 5.5 minutes to play. A 12-point Wildcat lead. Here comes Grant Domsic down the floor. The Wildcats holding on, trying to win this one. Aaron White, Younkin, three-pointer on its way. It's good! Steve Younkin nails the 3. And Oak Ridge leads it 62-57.
David, one thing that you have to notice right now for Oak Ridge is on defense, they are playing a 2-3 zone, but it's also very evident that Oak Ridge is not very experienced at playing the zone. They've allowed a couple of guys to come free inside. The weakness of a 2-3 zone, there's a couple of areas of weakness. Along the wings, if you have a three-point shooter, it's very, very tough to guard in a 2-3 zone. Another weak point of a 2-3 zone is at the elbows, and that's where Science Hill is attacking right now. They're attacking the Oak Ridge 2-3 zone at the elbows, and they have gotten 4 quick points off of that defense. I'm sure right now Coach Norris and Coach Walls are kind of teaching and reminding the Wildcats of how they want to play their zone defense.
The first day of the state tournament for the boys is March the 17th. The winner of this game plays either Memphis Fairleigh or Jackson Northside. That sub-state game is going on down in middle, probably Memphis tonight someplace, and we'll probably never get a score on that unless we have a very extended post-game show. Right now, Oak Ridge on top by 15. Steve Younkin got his feet planted and just nailed that 3.
Yes, he did, David. They really gave him plenty of space over there. Steve was actually 2 or 3 feet behind the three-point arc on the left wing on the Wildcats' offensive end. Steve looked at the 3, kind of spun the ball in his hand. Nobody closed down on him. So whenever you give Steve Younkin that kind of room, he's going to have the confidence and the stroke to be able to knock down the three-pointer and make you pay for not playing close defense on him.
62-47 the score. Science Hill with the basketball. 5:08 to play. Hilltopper ball. Forney with it. Looks inside to Stockton. The ball goes to him. Posts up, drives in, pulls up, shoots and scores. That's a nice looking shot. Matthew Stockton hits it. Back the other way will come Oak Ridge. Their lead is 13. 4:55 to play in the basketball game. A lot of fouls for Johnson City to give before Oak Ridge will ever be shooting free throws. Here's Big Rick. He turns, he spins, he shoots, and he scores. Rick Daniels-Mulholland dominating tonight here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. Here's Stockton driving, stopping, shooting. No good. Rick has to foul him. Rick is dominating inside Kevin McKeethan.
Yes, he is, David Clary. He has 17 points. He has 10 points here in the second half, but he also just picked up his 3rd personal foul with 4:35 remaining here in the 4th quarter. I don't think you can afford to take Rick out of the game at this point in time. However, if he does get his 4th foul, he's got to sit down for a while.
Shot is up, good. Matthew Stockton hits the toss. 14-point game, 64-50. Back to the free throw line once again, Matthew Stockton. Daniels-Mulholland checks out of the ball game. 64-50 the score. To the free throw line once again will go Matthew Stockton. Toss on its way, good. Once again, it'll be Oak Ridge with a basketball. Rick, I mean, he's dominating. What can you say?
Well, yeah, he is, David. He's also very tired. He picked up his third foul, so he's going to sit for a little while here. My guess is that he will not be on the bench long, especially if the Wildcats are struggling to get the ball down the floor and score offensively like they look like right now.
Aaron brings the ball across the line. We're down to 4:23 to play. Oak Ridge by 13 with the basketball. Then the ball is kicked out of bounds, I believe, by Johnson City. Wildcat basketball. The Wildcats have lost 9 straight games to the Hilltoppers, dating back, I believe, to 1993. Wildcats up 13 with 4:20 to play in the ball game.
David, the Wildcats have the advantage right now by 13. They also have the advantage of having Rick Daniels-Mulholland on their side and the advantage of having no stopper on the Toppers bench for Rick Daniels-Mulholland.
Hey, that's a good one. As Omar Wattad fouls Grant Domsick. And with 4:14 to play, it's a 64-51 lead. The Wildcats have the basketball, 4:14 to play. Still an eternity. The way the Wildcats came out, the three-point shot by Steve Younkin set the tone to start the half.
Well, yes, it did, David. Oak Ridge had the ball to start offensively, and they made the extra pass. They got Steve Younkin open as now Oak Ridge has the ball inside with Jerry Stevens, puts up a shot. He's absolutely tackled by one of the Hilltoppers inside as he's going to be fouled. He will shoot free throws, but like you said, David, Oak Ridge got off to a very fast, confident start to the second half with Steve Younkin's three-pointers. He now has 3 in the second half with 9 points.
If Oak Ridge can hold on and win this game, they can credit some sports writers up in the Johnson City area that wrote that Science Hill probably had the best opportunity of all the Upper East Tennessee teams to win and go on to the state tournament, and that is posted in their locker room as the shot is good by Jared Stevens. Oak Ridge by 14. 65-51, the Wildcats trying to win their 23rd ball game. The Hilltoppers trying to win their 33rd ball game. Back to the free throw line, Jared Stevens. 14-point Wildcat lead. 65-51 the score, 4:10 to play. The freshman missed it. Wattad on the rebound. Here come the Hilltoppers. 4:09 to play. Omar Wattad works the ball to Forney in the left corner, guarded by Grant Domsick. Kicks the ball back out to Wattad for 3. He's a player, missed the shot though, and they got the rebound. Down to 3:56 to play. Forney for 3. He missed it. The smallest man on the floor has the rebound. That's Jared Stevens. Here comes Oak Ridge down the floor. Quinche turning, spinning, walking, but still scoring. Oak Ridge on top by 16. 3:39 to play. Johnson City's season in the brink right now. With the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. Out it goes to the left side of Michael Forney. Bounce pass, left side. They try to shoot. Driving with it, McKinney. His shot rolls off the rim. Back with a rebound, Wattad, good. Science Hill scores. 3:21 to play. Here comes Oak Ridge. Grant Domsick with the basketball. Oak Ridge is just masterfully sliced through their press all night long. Oak Ridge ball to Aaron White. To Ravel Coffey. Ravel drives in. Reverse layup. Good. They have no answer for the Wildcats. And Oak Ridge is going to go to the state tournament.
I think so, David Clary, as Science Hill gets the ball inside. Their shot is blocked and recovered by Quincy Dowdell. He pushes the ball up to Aaron White. Puts up a layup up and good.
Oak Ridge on top by 18. Oak Ridge is headed to Middle Tennessee State University. Here's a 3. It's no good. Rebound, Science Hill. Back up with a shot. Layup good. And Science Hill calls a timeout. He hasn't used many of them. 2:37 to play. Oak Ridge on top, 71-55. They are going to Middle Tennessee State to play in the state tournament to be one of the final 8 teams in the state.
16-point lead with 2:37 remaining. The only way that Oak Ridge does not win this basketball game is with a total collapse in ball handling. Right now, Science Hill is known for their defensive pressure in the backcourt. I'm sure right now that their head coach is telling the Toppers that you have got to pick up your defensive intensity. Oak Ridge has scored about 6 or 8 straight points easily in transition. That's not Science Hill's game. It's not really Oak Ridge's game to play in transition. However, when you've got wide open layups, when you've got good rebounding on the defensive end, good ball handling up the floor, and then you get guys cutting, and going to the basket, you get a 16-point lead in a sub-state basketball game. That's what we have right now. 2:37 remaining. Oak Ridge leads Science Hill 71-55.
Last year, Johnson City Science Hill came to Clinton, and the Dragons knocked them off in Clinton. It looks like we might have 2 consecutive years without Johnson City at the state tournament, but the Wildcats have to hold on for the final 2:37, 71-55. After that loss to Halls in the district tournament, who would have ever thought that the Wildcats would be 2.5 minutes away from being one of the final 8 teams in the state of Tennessee with a chance to win a state championship in a couple of weeks. Fouls called against the Hilltoppers, stops the clock, 71-55, 2:34 to play. Alert the camera guys up there to keep the camera rolling throughout the course of this one as the Wildcats will get the ball side court.
David, the one advantage right now that Science Hill has on Oak Ridge is what we just talked about. We just talked about Science Hill only has 4 team fouls right now, so Oak Ridge still has 3 more fouls until they're shooting free throws.
Quinche Dowdell with the basketball, dribbles to his right, stops, stripped of the ball because he is called for a walk. 2:29 to play. I thought he's fouled. It'll be Science Hill basketball. Oak Ridge on top by 16 points. 71-55, 2:29 to play in the basketball game. The Hilltoppers will have the basketball side court right in front of the Oak Ridge student section. That guy's got to be getting abused across the way as the Hilltoppers try to bring the ball down the floor. They have the ball across the way. They lost it. Jared Stevens has it. Wildcats have a 3-on-1. Jared's going to take it coast to coast. Go up for the shot. No good. Rebounded right back up by Science Hill. 2:14 to play. Down the floor with the basketball will come the Hilltoppers. They drive in. They turn. They spin. They shoot. And they score. Wildcats in the lead. Their lead is cut to 14. Here comes Aaron White breaking through the pressure. Aaron White dribbling out of trouble. Wildcats are fouled. 15 foul. A minute 58 to play in the ball game. 14-point advantage for the Wildcats. Oak Ridge is led by as many as 20. A minute 58 to play, which is still an eternity, but I still feel pretty good about it. Much better in our shoes than their shoes.
Absolutely, David. I would never want to be down by 14 with under 2 minutes to go. As you just said, the score is 71-57. That is also the 4th personal foul on the Hilltoppers' Omar Wattad. He's their leading scorer with 20 points.
Down to a minute 57 to play. Oak Ridge with the basketball. Grant Domsick, he's fouled. 16 foul. This one's going to go against Emmanuel Reed. Sometimes, obviously, personal fouls are very detrimental, as we saw to the Lady Wildcats. And sometimes you need a few, and they're having to foul down the stretch here just to get Oak Ridge to shoot some free throws. It's only the 16 foul, so the next one will send Oak Ridge to the free throw line. Minute 54 to play. Oak Ridge on top by 14. Wildcats, Steve Younkin to work it in. Looks to White, the pass comes into Aaron. Aaron, the leading free throw shooter on the team, was 10 for 10 against Clinton. We'll have one in the bonus right here. A minute 52 to play. Ravel Coffey about to check in the ball game, and Omar Wattad about to come back in for Science Hill.
David, just like it was Friday night versus Clinton, free throws are going to play a huge part in the way that this basketball game turns out. The way that Oak Ridge let Science Hill back in the game is to miss these free throws. You miss these free throws, you allow Science Hill to get the ball in transition quickly and fire up some three-pointers. If they go in, they're right back in the game.
Minute 52 to play, 71-57 Oak Ridge. Aaron's free throw, good. Aaron White continues to do outstanding work at the free throw line. 81% on the year. Back to the free throw line. 72-57 the score. Second toss, good. Oak Ridge by 16 once again. Daniels-Mulholland comes out of the ball game. The Wildcats playing with Aaron White, Grant Domsick, Ravel Coffey, along with Jared Stevens and Quinche Dowdell. Oak Ridge has never lost a sub-state ball game at the Oak Ridge High School gym. They're leading 73-57 now with the basketball Science Hill. They need some threes because we're down to a minute 40 to play. Here's a guy who can shoot them, but he's going to be stripped of the ball. Grabbed it, shoots it. McKinney takes it up and scores. Oak Ridge works it into Grant Domsick. Domsick dribbles around, trapped, works the ball cross court to Quinche Dowdell. Wisely, especially for a freshman, backs it up to Stevens. Oak Ridge with it. Jared Stevens dribbles in, penetrates to his left, going round and round. Did a little circle drill at the middle of the floor. Then there's a reach-in foul called against Science Hill. A minute 16 to play. 73-59 the score.
David, this basketball game is over. Science Hill's given up right here. They did not play very good defense down here on offense. They took the ball, they held it, they had the ball for over 20 seconds. You can't have the ball for over 20 seconds when you're down by double digits, under 2 minutes to go, as Wildcat goes to the free throw line, shoot a free throw, and they knock it down. Aaron White, 3 of 3 from the free throw line.
The students were yelling, he's a freshman, and that big old smile just burst on his face as Oak Ridge ups their lead back to 15. 74-59, no good. Aaron actually missed a free throw. Can't fault him much, as down the floor will come the Hilltoppers. Oak Ridge, a minute and 11 away from the state tournament. They've got a 3 off. It is an air ball. Rebounded by Grant Dobson. A minute 4 to play. The Wildcats are headed to Middle Tennessee State and the state tournament. They will beat Science Hill tonight here at the Oak Ridge High School gym. And Oak Ridge will go to the state tournament here in 2005. And congratulations to Coach Ricky Norris. In 58.3 seconds, this place is going to erupt.
David, you just took exactly what I was going to say. I was going to congratulate head coach Ricky Norris, who at times this year, Oak Ridge, he was very, very frustrated with the Wildcats and the fact that they couldn't close out games. They played very well. Coach Norris is very much deserving of going to the state tournament this year, as are his players.
Shot is good. Wildcats up by 16. Wildcats Aaron White will have another one. 58 seconds to play in Johnson City's season. Not only is Oak Ridge going to the state tournament, they will stop a 9-game losing streak to the Hilltoppers as J.J. Wells comes in for Rick Daniels-Mulholland, who totally dominated Science Hill tonight.
David, Rick has 17 points on the night, and he absolutely dominated the basketball game inside in the third quarter and early in the fourth quarter. Oak Ridge got the ball in his hands. He dominated inside, made his shots, made his free throws. Absolutely dominant performance by the senior post player for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
J.J. Wells with a needle steal. He works the ball outside. Driving in, they kick it out for a 3. Number 22, clang off the iron, no good. They get the rebound, go right back up, no good. Rebound, Aaron White of the Wildcats. To Brett Goeringer, to J.J. Wells, if he can save it. 36 seconds to play. Oak Ridge on top by 16, and a foul's called against Johnson City Science Hill. The Wildcats are going to win in 33 seconds. They lead it 75-59. The Oak Ridge student section just going crazy across the way there as Oak Ridge increases their lead to 76-59. What a great second half of basketball for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats as senior Brett Goeringer and seniors Aaron White come out of the ball game. The 3 seniors, Daniels-Mulholland, Goeringer, and White, are headed to the state tournament.
David, the biggest smile is on the face of Jerry Stevens right now. He's shooting free throws. I'm going to guarantee you, if he misses or makes this shot, he's going to be smiling in about 5 seconds. There it is.
Down the floor of the basketball comes Johnson City. 30 seconds to play. Oak Ridge by 17. They've got a 3-pointer. It's on its way. Good. And Science Hill calls a timeout. Too little, too late, as the Wildcats lead by 14 points with 23 seconds to play. The last time the Wildcats went to the state tournament was in 2000. They lost to Bradley Central 49-45. And before that, they win in 99, knocking off Memphis Hamilton 71-62, then lost to Columbia Central in the Final Four of the state. But they're going to have their hands full. They'll be playing either Memphis Fairleigh or Jackson Northside, teams that are in the top 10, but they've knocked off a top 10 team tonight. The Hilltoppers come in at 32-6. They were number 9 in the state, but they're going down tonight.
David, you're more familiar with this than I am. I believe this is the first year that it has actually been predetermined who the winners of the sub-states are going to play, correct? Or not? I'm not sure.
I was listening to the student section.
I believe that this is the first year that it's been predetermined who the winners of the sub-states will play in the state tournament. Am I correct there?
They did it a few years ago, but it's been a while since they have. You are correct, sir. 76-62 Oak Ridge. 23 seconds away from the state tournament. Ravel Coffey, the home run to JJ. JJ drives. JJ is fouled. 21 seconds to play. Science Hill is going home to Johnson City with an outstanding 32-7 record. They have beaten some great teams over the course of the season. The Wildcats are going to win their 5th straight ball game in the postseason since that loss to Halls, and they're going to win it here in 21 seconds as the free throw is missed by J.J. Wells. Wildcats have J.J., Ravel, Grant Domsick, coming out of the ball game. Jared Stevens, Quinche Dowdell. The Oak Ridge crowd just going nuts. We're going to the state tournament. The first game for the Wildcats is JJ scores. JJ Wells hits the toss. The Wildcats will open up play at 3 o'clock on March the 17th at the state tournament. As they hit a 3, we're down to 12 seconds. Oak Ridge on top by 12, 77-65. The Wildcats will open up Thursday, March the 17th at 3 o'clock Eastern time against a team to be determined in the West Tennessee sub-state tonight, but they're going to do it. 77-65. They've led since the last minute of the second quarter and have never relinquished the lead.
Well, they haven't, David, as Ravel Coffey nails the free throw. It rolls in. He improves his free throw percentage. And what you just said a moment ago, Ravel Coffey to J.J. Wells, that may be a combination you hear next year in football season as well.
Could be. 79-65, back to a 14-point game. 10 seconds left in this ball game. 20 for 3. No good. Rebound, Oak Ridge. Wildcats have it, and the game is over. The Wildcats are headed to the state tournament as Oak Ridge defeats the Hilltoppers 79-65 to earn their first trip back to the state tournament since 2000, as the Wildcats have defeated Johnson City, and they are going to the state.
Get out the hair clippers, David Clary.
That was last time. My hair's already short enough as the Wildcats win it 79-65. And it's pandemonium in the center of the floor as the Wildcats defeat the Johnson City Science Hill Hilltoppers, knocking them off for the first time after 9 straight wins by the Hilltoppers over Oak Ridge. Johnson City's season comes to a close here at the Oak Ridge High School, and Oak Ridge is now a perfect 7-0 in sub-state ball games here at Oak Ridge High School. I told you what Coach Shipley had always told me. Coach Shipley had always said if he had any school he had coached at, if he could coach a one-game situation where it meant going to the state, winning a state championship, he wanted to coach it here at Oak Ridge High School. The home court advantage when this place is full is just that, a home court advantage.
David, what a fitting way. I'm not sure when exactly the new school and the new gymnasium is going to be built, but I believe Oak Ridge might move into it by next basketball season or during next basketball season.
They're a little slow. We're going to play all of next year in this gym.
In this gym right here. So what a fitting way. This could be one of the very last sub-state games played in this gym. Oak Ridge closes it out being 7-0. What a fantastic run they had. 5-0 since the loss to Halls in the district semifinals. A fantastic run for the Wildcats. Fantastic run for Coach Ricky Norris and his basketball team as they beat Science Hill 79-65, who was one of the top 10 teams in the country. In the state, actually.
I'm telling you here, the newspapers up in Johnson City put in the newspaper yesterday that of all the teams, I think they said there were 5 or 6 teams from the upper East Tennessee area that had a chance. They thought Science Hill had the best chance to make it to the state tournament. Coach Norris took note of that, cut it out, printed it out, put it all over the locker room, and I don't know if that was the necessary fuel that the Wildcats needed to get to the state tournament. I think it was just 3 determined seniors and just 9 solid, good basketball players and a good coaching staff and a huge, tremendous crowd that did it, but they got a little bit of help from that newspaper writer, and obviously that is not going to be the case. Oak Ridge is going to the state, and Johnson City for the 2nd consecutive year will not be going. There's Cameron Sharp of Hall. It's good to see him out here as a spectator as the Wildcats are headed to the state tournament.
David, one of the big things that you talk about in the so-called postseason sports, you talk about baseball, you talk about football really too, you talk about basketball especially. The team that is hot at the time is normally the team that advances on into the region tournaments, into the state tournaments. Right now, I would venture to say that there is not a team in the state of Tennessee that is playing as good a basketball or is as hot as Oak Ridge is right now. And unfortunately, because the state tournament is so far a while, you have to wait till the 17th of March for the tournament. And that's what happened to the 96 team. They were the hottest team in 96, just obliterated Dobbins Bennett here at home, but then had to sit out for 10 days, 2 weeks before the state tournament, and that got up, that cooled them off. But
I know Coach Norris is not too concerned about that. He's just so happy to be there. First chance as a head coach to take a team to be one of the final 8 in the state. And anything can happen. Once you get there, you're just 3 games away from a state title.
You're 3 good games away, David, as you just said. I know it's one thing that Coach Norris did. His team is a very, very disciplined team. As soon as they shook hands with Science Hill, his players ran over here. They were running back to the locker room. Coach Norris, as he's being embraced right now by Lady Wildcats head coach Jill Pruden, all of his players met him, and he turned around to him and pointed to the student section and said, get out there in the middle of the floor and celebrate this win with your classmates. What a fantastic win for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats, by the players, by head coach Ricky Norris, by his staff, Jody Goins and Coach Walls, and also a tribute to the Oak Ridge High School basketball program as they make the state tournament for the first time since the year 2000.
Let's go back to the station. Darren, you have a final on that Clinton ball game? So the Dragons won't be joining us in Middle Tennessee State, so tough luck for them. It's tough to go on the road. It's very tough to go on the road and win a sub-state ball game, as Clinton has found out tonight, and so has Johnson City Science Hill. As we prepare to talk to Coach Norris, I'm not going to take him away from the public. You talk about everybody wants to talk to and hug Coach Ricky Norris. I saw Jill Pruden a moment ago. I know she's disappointed, but she's she is a consummate professional, and Ricky is the toast of the town right now, as everybody wants to talk to him. And here's Grant Domsick. He's headed to the state tournament. Grant, come over and talk to me again. It was good luck last week, so we're going to continue to do this. What's it feel like? You're headed to the state tournament.
I mean, there's not a better feeling in the world, starting off from the struggles we've gone through and everyone doubting us and didn't think we could come in here. There's not a better feeling in the world right now.
You fell behind early in the ball game, but I think the key, and you can correct me, was when Steve came out and hit that 3 to start the second half, and then you started hitting some shots from the outside. Steve started hitting, and it just kind of was like a snowball of momentum.
Yeah, Steve's been struggling a little bit of late, but we just been keep telling him to shoot. It was going to fall eventually. And I mean, it couldn't have came at a better time. When he came out and hit that first 3, it just kind of all got us going, and from there on, it just snowballed, like you said.
Grant, I appreciate it. Good luck, and have fun at the state.
Thank you.
Grant Domsick, member of the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats Junior. Let's see if we can find some other players here, Kevin. That's what we should do here on this victorious sub-state night. The Wildcats have beaten Science Hill 79-65. Let's see if we can get another couple of players here. I'll talk to as many players that will talk to me, as maybe we can get Big Rick over here, maybe Steve Younkin. I'll let Kevin just track down whoever he can possibly find over towards the scorers table. Let's see who it's going to be. It is going to be, let's see, I thought maybe Ravel would sit down. Sit down, Ravel. Let me ask you a question or two here. Ravel, you're headed off to the state tournament. How's it feel?
It's great, man. This is the first time I've ever been to a state. Even in football, I ain't even made it yet.
Well, think about this ball game. The crowd was packed. How important was the crowd to your success? Because they were loud all night.
Yeah, they kept the other team off focus a lot, and we just had to use it to our advantage,
How tough was Science Hill? Were they the toughest team you played, or have you played tougher?
We played tougher. Clinton was tougher than them.
Clinton lost tonight, unfortunately, so they're not going to be going to the state with you. But do you care who you play over there?
No, I don't care. We're going to the state, baby.
That was Aaron White. Rebel, thanks a lot. Let me talk to Steve real quick here. Steve Younkin. Steve, I think, as Grant was over here, you struggled a little bit last week, but I think tonight that three-point shot to start the second half started the momentum, the ball rolling, and I think this win can be credited solely on your shoulders because you were shooting with confidence out there, and it really seemed to feed the rest of the guys. Congratulations. What's your thoughts about heading to the state?
I just can't wait. It's going to be an awesome experience. It's going to be great, and I'm just so happy we won right now.
Think about way back when you were losing a couple ball games and people were downing you. Did you guys ever lose your belief in yourself?
We never lost any our confidence went down, but we got it back. Now nobody can stop us right now. We're playing our best ball right now.
You lost to Halls. How down were you after that? And could that have been a positive thing as you've made this run?
I think it could be a positive thing because that made us want to win even more. It made us hungry for the tournament, so we can go further.
Do you care who you play at all? I know it's either Memphis Fairleigh or Jackson Northside. Do you care?
I don't care. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
Steve, thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Steve Younkin, member of the Wildcats. Let's see if we can find somebody else to come over here to talk with me. And let's see if we can get Big Rick over here. LC, let's see. Let's get, maybe Aaron White's going to come over here. Let's get Rick over here. Have a seat, Rick, and then I'll talk to Aaron. Let's get both of them here. We'll start with the two of the seniors here. Rick, you and Aaron have just been playing outstanding ball. Rick, tonight you totally dominated inside. Aaron, you dominated against Clinton. What's your thoughts about going to the state tournament? How do you guys feel, both of you?
Well, I mean, I feel good. You know, first part is getting there, and we did that tonight, you know. We're firing all cylinders tonight. Steve, Brett, and Grant, they're all hitting their shots. Really opened it up for us inside, and I think that was key. You know, like I said, we're firing all cylinders tonight. That's what we got to do the rest of the way.
They didn't really have an answer for you inside. Do you like going against those much smaller guys because you could just muscle them around?
Well, yeah, I mean, at first they were double teaming, but like I said, you know, our outside guys were hitting their shots. It opened it up for us inside, took away all the backside help, and allowed me to do what I want to do.
Well, Rick, do you care who you play at all? Does it matter to you at all? Who you play? Does it matter?
I don't care who we play. You know, whoever it is, we're going to go out there and give our best shot. You know, that's all we can do from now. You know, there are 8 teams left, and we're one of them.
Rick, thanks a lot. Let me talk to Aaron real quick.
Yes, sir.
Aaron?
Yes, sir.
First of all, congratulations on the win over Science Hill. How does it feel knowing that you're one of the final 8 teams in the state?
Man, senior year, going to the state, what can I say? It speaks for itself, baby.
You have really stepped your game up here in the postseason. Last week you were just totally dominant. And what has it gotten into you? Shooting 3-pointers.
Well, when you're a senior, you coming down to your last games, you just got to play 100%. This is nothing to you. You got to play 100%. Coach asked me, Aaron, for you last week, put all into it, and hopefully I responded well, baby.
What about the crowd tonight? Did they help you?
Man, the crowd. If the crowd was like this every game, I promise you we'd win every game. I just love the crowd, man. They're the 6 man. They're the 6 man.
Go back to the very first of the season when you all were losing a few ball games. Did you ever give hope up?
That's the thing I like about this team. I say we're probably the best team all around, I swear, in the state. As far as communicating, as far as loving each other, as far as there for each other. It's nothing better, baby. A team is not a team without unless y'all all together. That's what makes us. That's what we are, the Ridge Wildcats, all together.
Aaron, good luck at the state. We'll be talking to you again, I'm sure. Let me talk to Brett here real quick.
Here you go, Brett. Number 1 going to the state, baby.
The other part of the senior class here, Brett, you were on fire too tonight, hitting from the outside. I think some of your 3-point shooting was just really crucial as well. Talk about this big win and how important is it for you as a senior to be going to the state tournament?
It's huge, David. I mean, it's unreal. I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. I mean, I love this team. We play so well together. I mean, and it's not about just one person either. Everybody on the team stepped up. I mean, Steve Younkin hit shots. Rick dominated. Aaron took it to the basket. I mean, it was everybody. Everybody.
Well, let's talk about it. You lost that game to Halls, I guess, 2 weeks ago in the district tournament. Did you think, well, you know, maybe we're not good enough to win? Could that have been the catapult that got you to this point to be playing as well as you are right now?
Didn't even cross my mind, David. I mean, yeah, we lost to Halls. We came back. We beat Clinton. Then we came back and we dominated the region. That's all that matters. I mean, one loss shouldn't slow you down. You know,
Oak Ridge is 7-0 now in home sub-state ball games. Does that crowd have anything to do with that?
This crowd was amazing. I give my shout-outs to Tom Benning because he's the planner of it all. I mean, this is awesome.
Hey, Brett, they're cutting down the net. I'll let you go over there.
David.
Yeah, okay. Wildcats victorious tonight, 79-65, and the Oak Ridge Wildcats have got scissors out, and they're cutting down the net. They are headed to the state tournament. They'll start play on the 17th of March against either Memphis Fairleigh or Jackson Northside. And I don't know, probably they tip that off at 8 o'clock Eastern time. So we probably won't have a score unless we have a very extended post-game show as they continue to cut down the nets there. And a lot of the crowd is still milling around in the gym as the either Jackson Northside or Memphis Fairleigh. And that'll be at 3 o'clock on Thursday, March the 17th. That's who they'll play. And a big night for the Wildcats. They win it 79-65, and eventually I'll get a chance to talk to the head coach of the Wildcats, Ricky Norris. I don't mind if he doesn't remember, as Aaron takes a couple snips at the net there. Kevin, great night of basketball. This reminds me so much of 1996. It really does. As Jared Stevens is come over here, I can talk to you anytime, Kevin. I want to talk to this freshman here for a second. Jared, have a seat here. Congratulations. Of course, you haven't been a part of this basketball team until this year. What's it feel like in your first year that you're going to the state tournament?
It feels so great. I can't even describe it.
Well, let's talk about it. Back when you first started this season, you lost a few ball games. Did you guys ever doubt that you were a pretty good team? I know you lost a few ball games. Was there ever any doubt that this team would come together here at tournament time?
There was no doubt. The team chemistry we had earlier in the season that other teams didn't have, we knew that would come into play during tournament time.
You were on the all-tournament last week at the region tournament, and you played so well tonight. You play with so much confidence. Are you at all scared out there at all, or do you just go out there and put 100% effort at it and just hope for the best?
I just go out there and do it. I do my thing. Whatever coach tells me to do, I go out there and do it, and then it'll work, hopefully, and then the team wins.
You're not very big, but you're able to get through the defense with so much quickness. What is the strengths of your game?
Well, my quickness, defense, and able to penetrate the ball and get it to the post.
What about the crowd tonight? How important were they to this big win?
I believe they took Science Hill out of the game real big time.
You think so? I kind of thought so too. Jared, I appreciate it. Good luck at the state tournament. Do you care who you play? Do you care who you play at the state tournament?
Nah, I could care less.
You just want to be. You're glad to be there.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Jared. I appreciate that. Jared Stevens, freshman member of the Wildcats. They are victorious tonight, 79-65 over Johnson City, Science Hill.
Dave, I just saw one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. They cleared the path to the goal. Jared Stevens just ran and jump stopped and grabbed the rim with two hands. He's like 5'5".
Maybe.
If that.
Yeah.
On a good day.
He's not very. You should have heard his interview right there with a lot of poise. He's talking to me like a senior, and he's only a freshman.
I love it. I love the fact that he plays football at Oak Ridge High School, too. Hopefully he'll continue to do that, and hopefully he'll be able to continue to advance in his career here at Oak Ridge High School, both on the basketball floor and the gridiron at Blankenship Field.
Have I talked to everybody? I haven't talked to Quinche or JJ if they want to come over here. I'm not going to take them away from that ceremony. Well, let's talk about this, Kevin. While Coach Norris is going to be talking with me as well, maybe that'll give us some time to get some scores. It's hard to get those Memphis scores. I mean, it's almost impossible to get those Memphis scores. But coming into this ball game, Science Hill had, if you look at history, and this isn't a typical Science Hill team, they had beaten Oak Ridge 9 straight times. Who's going up there now? It's Coach Norris to cut the final thread of the net off the rim there, and he does it and gets the little pieces still left up there as the Wildcats have won 79-65. Coach Ricky Norris, in his third year as the head coach, is taking the Wildcats to Middle Tennessee State. I know he is so proud of these guys, so proud of them.
I know he is, David. I just spoke to him and I shook his hand and congratulated him, and told him that not only did I think that his kids play well, obviously, and the team really came to play. They were ready to go, but also I told him that I thought he had a good game plan. I thought that he knew exactly what his team had to do to win tonight, and immediately Coach Norris tells me, he said, well, the kids executed it. He's given the credit to where the credit's due. He's given the credit to the kids. Coach Norris, fantastic job, very, very deserving of his trip in a couple of weeks to Murfreesboro, and very deserving of a couple more weeks of practice. I know that excites him and excites his players as well.
Yeah, it really excites the players to know they have a couple weeks of practice left. But as we wait for Coach Norris, I believe he's forgotten. He normally comes and talks to me. Let's get the head coach of the Wildcats over here. I've spoken to most of the players as he's hugging his wife over there. The Wildcats win tonight, 79-65. The Wildcats are 7-0 in home sub-state ball games since their first one back in 1971, and it's the first time after 9 straight losses to Science Hill that the Wildcats are victorious. And here comes Coach Ricky Norris, head coach of the Wildcats. Coach, got a chance to talk to a lot of your guys. First off, congratulations. Headed to the state tournament with these guys, and you've told me for the last 2 weeks these 9 guys haven't given you a bit of problems. And when they get out there and they're determined to play and they're determined to win, they put it all on the line. And they did that tonight with a help from a very vocal Oak Ridge student section and crowd here, which has propelled them to victory. And Jared Stevens, I asked him about the crowd. He said he thought that that the crowd took Johnson City out of the ball game, and there were so many big plays. I think the three-pointer by Steve here to start the second half started the ball rolling. I mean, because when he's hitting, he's got confidence. The rest of the guys want to give him the ball, and he was shooting it. Brett was shooting it, and Rick dominated totally inside. They had no answer all night for Rick, and everybody who played, including JJ, everybody contributed, and they're headed to the state tournament. I know you're proud of them.
Yeah, you know, Dave, first thing I would like to thank all the people, you know, our student section. They were amazing, and, you know, everybody in the stands was amazing. Sometimes when we scored, it got really, really, you know, I mean, there's no way our guys were hearing me. It was just, it's an awesome feeling, you know, to have people supporting your kids like that is, I don't think, unless you're playing, I don't think you realize how much it adds to it. I mean, it gives you an extra bounce in your step, and you could tell our guys had that extra bounce tonight. You know, I'm looking at the scoring 12-6, 17-2, 7-9, 11, 17. That's our team. I mean, that is our team right there in a nutshell. Different guys stepping up every night. Different guys contributing. You know, Steve Younkin, who struggled in the last 2 games in the region, you know, just to be honest with you, he was the difference in us extending that lead in the third quarter. You know, he hit those 3 threes and just got us on a roll. Grant hit a 3. Quincy and Jared got a steal right there. Ravel in the press. I mean, we had a little run right there that was really fun. I think we got up 20 at one point.
You did, yes, you did.
And then, you know, they scored. I mean, they're a good team. They're going to score some baskets, and you know, we held on, and you know, the whole difference in now and at the start of January when we came back from Florida is we handled the press now. I mean, you know, you look at how many runs they had and the length of their runs. It's none. You know, that they'd get 2 or 4 was about all the run they would get, and we'd handle the ball and make free throws. We attacked when it was smart. You know, just the decision. I mean, it's everything that you talk about all year. And, you know, Dave, and the thing about this team, and you've heard me say this a number of times, but it's not the fact they've not gotten in trouble or you know, all that, but it's the relationships that they have with each other. And it just, you know, while sometimes we don't have the 5 best players, and we're talented. We've got some talented basketball players. But I think a lot of times, especially here in the last week, we've had the best team. They all trust in each other and what each other's doing. They don't care who gets the credit. You know, and nowadays in society, everybody wants to play 30 minutes and score 20 points and this and that. But, you know, this team's not about that. And I think once we figured it out, you know, and we caught a break. I mean, you know, you can't deny that. We caught a break against Farragut, but we put ourselves in position to catch that break. And then when we did, we took full advantage of it. I mean, there's been no break since then. We've played really good basketball, and these guys deserve it. There's not a team around in this state that deserves it any more than them. We've worked as hard or harder than anybody else, and you know, I can say that and know it. So, you know, I'm just happy. I enjoy watching them celebrate and just enjoy the looks on their faces. You know, it's what coaching's all about for sure.
Coach, let me ask you something. I was reading the Johnson City newspaper, and they were talking about the 5 teams in the Upper East Tennessee area that were playing in sub-state sectionals tonight, and they thought that Science Hill had the best opportunity to win, I guess because they looked at your record and they didn't look at your team, and they didn't know anything about your team. You know, if they had known about the size of the heart that you guys have, he might not have written that. Did you use that at all?
Oh, yeah, it was on their locker. You know, that and a quote that we have that we went about. You know, they do have tradition. Science Hill, and we're not taking anything away. They were the team of the 90s, without a doubt.
Right.
But, you know, I went back, and since 98, we've won 171 games, 172 games now here at Oak Ridge. That's an average of 25 games a year, 3 district championships, 3 tournament championships, 3 region championships. We've been in the Final 4. We've been in the Final 8. We've got some tradition too,
right.
And we've got tradition put on our team room wall, and it's there for a reason. There's been a lot of guys go before us who have established that tradition, and we respect it, we love it, you know, and we thrive on it. And we felt like we were a little bit slapped in the face to be the underdog on our floor with the tradition that we have. And you know, momentum with high school kids is a crazy thing, and we had it coming into tonight, and we took full advantage of it. Science Hill's a great team. You know, they play hard. I mean, they get after you. And if you don't bring your game, they're going to bust you. Coach Cutlip does a great job. He is a classy man. I've gotten to know him working camps over the last 4 or 5 years, and he's classy. They do a good job. They know what they're doing. You know, he's going to win his share of games and championships, and he's going to develop people the way people should be developed. So, you know, we beat a great program, but, you know, we feel pretty proud around here that we've got a good program as well.
Coach, I'm going to tell you the story. I've said it all throughout the game. Coach Steve Shipley told me when he was at Dobbins-Bennett after he'd already left here. He said if he had one place in a one-game situation, he wanted to play it right here, because when this place is loud and when the crowd is in it, it is a tough place to come. I don't care what they say about these. This is one tough environment when this place is loud and full like it was tonight.
You know, chances are on a neutral floor, the score is not what it is tonight. Our guys did a great job of feeding off the crowd, and the crowd was just, it was just amazing, you know, and we knew it would be. You know, I remember when they played the last upstate, it was the year before I came here, and I saw the tape, and I was hoping we'd have that atmosphere, and we did. It was just, it was great to watch, and our kids really, you know, it just gives you confidence shooting the ball, gives you an extra step defensively, and you know, I could just sit here and talk all night if somebody talked to me about it, because I'm just proud of our kids. I'm so happy for all 9 of them. They all contributed, and they're just such a part of a wonderful team, something they'll never forget.
Coach, the parallels to the 96 team is just so, it's so huge. I mean, Tim Kaine hits a three-pointer against Farragut to extend the season in that first round, and then they went on and win the region. They come host a sub-state against Dobbins-Bennett, and they just blow them out. And that's a blowout, in my opinion, because when they got up to 20, the game was over.
Yeah, I don't think they ever got it below 10 once we got to 20. And, you know, we controlled the second half. You know, we beat Clinton on their home floor, like that 96 team beat Bearden on their home floor in the championship. And it's a little bit eerie, you know, but we'll take it. I don't care how eerie it is. We're going to go to Murfreesboro next week, and we're going to treat these guys right, and we're going to enjoy the moment. We're not going to get caught up. Now, when we go down there, we're going to compete and try to win, but we're going to let our guys enjoy it because of all the work they put in.
Either Memphis, Fairleigh, or Jackson Northside. They're both in the top 10 of the state. Does it matter to you?
Los Angeles Lakers, no, it doesn't, man. It really does. You know, when you get down there, you're going to have to beat somebody really good to win it anyway. You know, you just got to line up and play. Good thing is we got a week to prepare for them, week and a half. And playing them at 2 o'clock, you know, the atmosphere won't be as maybe intimidating as it would at 9. And, you know, who knows? Stranger things have happened, and we'll show up, I guarantee you.
Maybe if Coach Goeringer can arrange a few buses to get some of those kids that were sitting in that section to come, that would really help a great deal.
Yeah, and if, you know, any of our administration is listening, you know, we do play during the day Thursdays, so, you know, I better not say that.
There's Mr. Baker right there.
He's right by me. I better not say that. But, no, you know, the kids were great tonight, and they really helped pull us through, no doubt.
Coach, congratulations. You had a lot of former players like Josh Myers, Kevin Kalchek. I saw Darius Waters. I saw Tommy Strickler here tonight. There might have been others here, former Wildcats, here to cheer you guys on. I know that makes you feel pretty good.
It does. You know, you love seeing these guys who have played for you and talking to them. You know, I'm sure I'll have a couple phone calls from some other guys, and it is. You know, it's for everybody in our program, our community, but, you know, most importantly, it's for those 9 kids back there that worked their butts off for a long time.
Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations, and have a good night.
I will, David. You too. Thanks.
Coach Ricky Norris, head coach of the Wildcats. Oak Ridge has defeated Johnson City Science Hill 79-65 to advance to play in the state tournament at Middle Tennessee State University. Their first ball game will be Thursday, March the 17th, 2 o'clock Central Time, 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Let me talk to Coach Goins real quick. Let me talk to Coach Goins real quick on the radio here. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
First year as an assistant coach. Win, win, win. It looks like you take over, you help out with the program, and you're headed off to Middle Tennessee. And I know you're very happy to be associated with these 9 very, very fine young men.
David, unbelievable first season. I could not ask for a better situation here in Oak Ridge. I'm working with a great group of individuals, 9 varsity players, greatest group of kids I've ever worked with. Coach Norris and Coach Walls are a great coaching staff. They've been able to come in and do my part, and I've basically learned everything about coaching from those 2 individuals. They are great people to learn from, and I'm ecstatic to be here in Oak Ridge. It's been a great season. I hope to continue that down in Murfreesboro next week.
Coach, and I don't want to keep you. I know you all have people to talk to and things to do, but you lost to Halls in that district semifinal round ball game. But since that time, your team has come out focused. Got a break, obviously, against Farragut, but you've taken full advantage of it. How important, obviously, was to refocus after that Halls game?
Well, after the Halls game, it was a very heartbreaking loss for us, David, and we came out and we refocused. And I thought where we really set the tone was that next Friday night in the consolation game against Clinton here. We came out, established a tone, got a victory there to earn a 3rd-place seed into the region the next week. Came out, did what we had to give ourselves a chance at Farragut. Got an absolutely unbelievable break with Grant's bank shot. and we've just taken advantage of it from there, and we've taken advantage of all the opportunities that have been given to us, and now we're heading to Murfreesboro, David.
Coach, the Clinton Dragons lost tonight, so they won't be joining us. But obviously, you're very, very proud of these guys and have a good time. You coaches like a week and a half of practice. I'm sure the guys won't mind at all either.
No, they won't mind at all. They're back in the locker room right now, so excited, so pumped up that we're going to the state tournament in Murfreesboro. A week and a half of practice. We're going to be fully prepared for whoever we play, whether it's Memphis Fairley or Jackson Northside. We're going to be fully prepared for them.
Coach, thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we'll see you down there.
Thank you, David.
Coach Jody Goins, assistant coach of the Wildcats. Kevin, have you run the stats down? I don't know if we've even done that. I'll let you do that.
David, I haven't run the stats down. I actually just gave the reporter from the News Sentinel some tidbits about this rivalry and about what's going on with Oak Ridge and everything. As we look across the gym, the net is not hanging from the goal on the Oak Ridge side of the gym. What a beautiful sight that is. I'm sure they'll have to go get another one for practice on Thursday afternoon. Coach Goins, Coach Walls, and Coach Norris will have the kids out here working hard, getting ready for their first state tournament game since 2000. Oak Ridge went in 1999 and in 2000. They won a game and then lost in the Final Four in 1999, lost in the first round in 2000. Hopefully they can play a very good game against one of the two teams from West Tennessee in their opening round next Thursday afternoon. Here is the scoring for Oak Ridge. J.J. Wells got in the game, and he nailed one of two free throws. He had 1 point on the night, did J.J. Wells. Quincy Dowdell was an absolute spark off the bench for the Wildcats. Quincy was 6 of 7 from the floor. He had 12 points. The freshman has a very, very bright future ahead of him here at Oak Ridge High School. Hopefully, he's got a bright couple of games left in him here this basketball season. Brett Goeringer, the senior wing player, he played the wing at the 2 and 3 spot, played inside at the post early in his career. Brett hit 2 big three-pointers in the first half to keep Oak Ridge in the game. Brett had 6 points, played very well for the Wildcats. Grant Domzik was really kind of Oak Ridge's general on the floor. Grant was perfect from the floor, David. Grant was 3 of 3 from beyond the three-point stripe. He was 2 of 2 from the floor. He was only 1 of 2 from the free throw line, however. Grant had 14 points. Nice night for Grant after a fantastic region tournament as well.
Well, Kevin, I guess we ought to close it out here. Congratulations once again to – oh, go ahead then. Just keep talking. I'm sorry. Walk away.
Thanks a lot, David. As we continue to run down the scoring, Jared Stevens had 2 points. He played very, very well. He actually ran a circle around one of the defenders from Science Hill one time and then had the biggest smile on his face. Jared only had 2 points, but he was a lot bigger factor in this game. Jared Stevens wound up with 2 points for the Wildcats. Ravel Coffey had 7 points. Ravel continues to improve his free throw percentage. He was 3 of 4 from the charity stripe here in the ball game. Ravel had 7 points on the night for the Wildcats. Steve Younkin hit 3 big three-pointers, 2 of them to open the second half of play, 1 to extend the lead to 18 points late in the third quarter. Steve Younkin was 3 of 6 from the field. He had 9 points for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. Senior post player Aaron White had 11 points, 4 of those coming from the free throw line, 4 coming from the floor inside the paint, and then 3 coming from beyond the three-point stripe. Aaron knocked down his second three-pointer of the year. He has 11 points to close out his career here at the Oak Ridge High School Gymnasium for Oak Ridge with 11 points. Aaron White. The man, the myth, the legend, RDM Rick Daniels-Mulholland was a dominant force inside. Rick had a quiet 17 points. What am I talking about? He didn't have a quiet 17 points. Rick Daniels-Mulholland dominated this basketball game throughout the second half. Rick had 10 points in the second half, all of them coming at the end of the third quarter toward the beginning of the fourth quarter. Rick Daniels-Mulholland, the MVP of the Region 2 AAA basketball tournament last Friday. Rick had 17 points, a fantastic night for the senior. Great way for him to close off his career here at the Oak Ridge High School Gym. Very quickly, the scoring for Science Hill. Hunter Thomas had 3 points. Michael Forney had 7. Emmanuel Reed had 8. The leading scorer for them was Omar Wattad with 20. Very impressive player, only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Only a sophomore. He's going to be a great player for them here in the next couple of years. Matthew Stockton had 8 points. Wes Louderback had 2 points. And Ian McKinney had 17 points for the Hilltoppers. Oak Ridge shot a total of 24 from 56 from the field, 9 of 13 from behind the three-point stripe. Great job, great night for the Oak Ridge High School Wildcats. Congratulations to the players. Congratulations especially to the seniors. Congratulations to head coach Ricky Norris and his assistants, Coach Goins and Coach Walls. And congratulations to everybody who's been a part of this Oak Ridge High School basketball program the last few years as Oak Ridge defeats Science Hill by a final score of 79-65 in the sub-state and will return to the state tournament of AAA basketball in Tennessee for the first time since the year 2000.
You know, we've had such a long losing streak with Johnson City. It's 9 straight coming into this ball game. Haven't beat them since about 1993, and so that's one more thing off the backs of the Wildcats. And what a great way. We thought maybe this might be the last ball game ever played in this gym. We're going to be in a new 13. And but they're going to be playing in the tournament. They're playing back in this gym next year. Once again, the final score though, 79-65. Kevin, any final comments here?
I think I pretty much summed it up a moment ago, David. Just a great night as Brett Goeringer gets a cheer as he comes out of the locker room here at the Oak Ridge High School Gymnasium. Great night for Oak Ridge. I'm very, very happy for these seniors.
The Dowdell family giving him
the Dowdells are still in the gym. I'm sure you can hear him across the way. I can't wait till Quinn Shea comes out. He's going to get a great, probably a standing ovation over there from about 20 members of his family as they sit here on the concrete left side of the gym. As here comes Jared Stevens, J.J. Wells, and Quinn Shea out of the locker room. A standing ovation from the Dowdell family. Great night for the Wildcats. Great night for the Dowdell family.
Exactly.
Great night for Oak Ridge basketball.
The Dowdells here at the ball games. Hey, let's close it out here. Darren Craig's got a highlight show, and that should be very, very, very exciting. Once again, the final score: the Wildcats victorious tonight over the the Johnson City Science Hill. I wish it was Kingsport, but it was not. 79-65 was the final score. The Wildcats are headed to the state tournament.